Welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your humble game master, Tom, and this is adventure number 16. In this adventure, we have our heroes split. The fellowship has broken as one group went north last episode, and this is the group heading south into the kingdom of Thave after Sir Brenros's missing chalice of Xander, Sildren, and Sir Brenros. We're glad to have you here. We're coming to you on twitch.tv/Inglorious Bards. You can also find our videos on our YouTube channel, and we're available on every podcast platform in the known world. Without further ado, let's have a recap of what happened 2 sessions back when these heroes last adventured.
Okay, so the heroes all arrived at Lady Talmadrin's house. Brenros was immediately taken in. Everyone else was kind of shoved off into the servants' quarters to get dressed. Brenros was taken out of his armor, put into these fancy party clothes, and was immediately brought into this soiree with Lady Talmadrin. They were throwing cherries at the very well shaved, I assume, and certainly covered in cream chest of a young man, the weight that was there. There was giggling and laughing, and Sir Brenros wanted nothing of it. He wanted to talk to Lady Talmadrin and get information right away to see if she would join them with the intention of the king being returned. Idrisil, in his already planned out sort of ways, kind of went around Sir Brenros, who was getting nowhere, by the way, and was able to seduce Lady Talmadrin, though I'm sure she would say it was the other way around. He was able to speak with her and really explain the purpose of King Phaon coming back and our mission that went with it. Sir Brenros, again, continued to try a couple times, but Idrisil really got through with it. When, after a game of hopsies, when everyone gets ready to go, I believe everyone was really successful with it, especially Xander, who gave the best damn impression of a peacock anyone has ever heard at Lady Talmadrin's request. When Xander returned back, he found Gabe, the wizard, in the morning inside the quarters, where they found out that he was brought down to break a seal. Xander immediately jumped on board for that, and Gabe and Xander went down to the basement and found that there was a gearbox that was a kind of a mood enhancer or mood destroyer that was protected by some horrific kind of gear clock beast that was slowing everyone down and pulling time from them. The defenders made quick work of him, and then kind of announced what happened with Lady Talmadrin. And Brenros, not having it any longer, stood his ground and really got to get his word in and explain why we're here and why it's important she follows her ways. After listening to Sir Brenros, Lady Talmadrin gave a kind of a dressing down of Senator Nathor, who was there, and brought the very cursed acting gift. And from there, the heroes patted Idrisil on the back and high-fived each other and decided to go their separate ways. Sir Brenros, Sildren, and Xander are all heading south to Thave, while the other 3 were doing the very easy challenge of going and picking up the king's banner. And that is where we split off. So from there, let the adventure begin.
Several days southeast of the city of Mirskan, Xander, Sildren, and Sir Brenros ride alongside a slow-moving river. Their journey takes them to the country of Thave, known for its dangerous merchants and nasty witches. The water is colored red and flows past slowly. Xander pets his horse and makes sure the string of horses behind them are following.
So, Why is this river red? I haven't seen anything like this before. Is it made of wine? Did someone die in it? Does it taste like cherries?
Water comes from the Blood Hills, several days' ride to the east. They're rich in iron, which bleeds into the water, and that's why they call this river the Red.
This is the Red? Huh. I used to hear stories about this river serving drinks at my dad's tavern. Travelers from Thave follow it all the way to Navarre.
It is, and it's time we crossed it, and then several more days down the road to the town of Sarvide.
The dirt road comes to an end at the riverbank. Sir Brenros urges his horse to splash across this shallow section of the river and brings the string of horses behind him. Sildren whispers something in his horse's ear, and the animal confidently steps into the river.
So how are we going to find this chalice of yours in town?
Sarvide is where the last chalice was taken. That was a few weeks ago. And while the chalice could be anywhere, it's the only known lead we have.
Xander's horse steps into the Red, but the gnome stops his horse halfway across.
Sir Brenros, you mentioned that you needed to recover these chalices because... Xander? What's wrong?
Xander's horse stands in the middle of the shallow river with water flowing past its legs. The young gnome looks back the way he came and then down the road where they are headed.
That side of the river is Navarre. And once I cross it, then I'm in the country of Thave. I've never been outside Navarre before. I've never been so far from home.
Xander looks worried and alone, sitting on his horse in the middle of the river. Sildren turns around and rides out to meet him.
It's okay, Xander. I hadn't traveled outside my home much before coming all this way and meeting you. Most people in your hometown don't travel far, but you and I, we're not like the other folks. We travel wherever the adventure takes us.
Yeah, you're right.
You've flown across lava while battling elementals.
Yeah!
You've slain 2 demons with a single bolt of lightning.
Yeah!
We defend those who cannot defend themselves, which makes us...
A bunch of awesome dudes!
Defenders of the...
Defenders of the realm!
Xander kicks his horse and charges across the river.
Watch out, Thave! Xander's coming, and he's bringing the fire!
Sir Brenros pulls alongside Sildren.
What was all that excitement about?
Xander says he's never been outside Navarre before.
Didn't he once travel across all of time and space?
I find it best to not understand Xander, but just keeping his burning hands pointed away from me.
Sound advice.
Our 3 heroes ride into the country of Thave, known for its arid hills, swindling merchants, and guild of assassins. On the morning of day 4, the heroes say farewell to a group of Thavian travelers they camped alongside for company and safety. They head further southeast past dry riverbeds and steep hills covered in prickly bushes. There are a few scattered homes you ride past, made of dried mud and wooden beams. They are half buried in the earth to keep them cool. As fall approaches, the afternoons are still warm, but the evenings are quite cold. The heroes stop at a rare lake recommended by the travelers just off the main road. Brenros and Sildren attend to the horses, while Xander heads off behind some bushes to relieve little Xander. Brenros opens the flap of his saddlebag and wrinkles his nose.
What's wrong?
Our food. It's gone bad. Rotten. Foul.
That should not be. These are traveling rations. They should last for weeks.
Yeah, see for yourself. But I'm not eating that. You know, they say nasty witches roam the hills of Thave, and that warm winds carry their curses from afar.
Xander sees the back of a big blue fish out on the lake and pretends to blast it with fireballs. But the only thing the other heroes hear is him making pew-pew noises from behind the bushes.
I don't know anything about curses, but this is bad luck for sure. We have what, another day or 2 before we reach the town of Sarvide?
That's going to be a rough 2 days without food.
Xander, well, you're kind of practicing some magic. What are some spells you haven't really spent much time on that maybe you're out here on the lake messing around with, attacking a poor fish with?
Well, there's a couple of easy ones, right? The first one I could say is I've got lots of practice with the little ray of frost that I used to shoot at all the zombies. I definitely have the acid splash. So I keep trying to get into the water and see what kind of splashing it could do. And Tanglefoot's a new one. Never Tanglefoot a fish before.
Okay. While Xander's trying out some magic and spells, what are you two doing back at the horses, particularly with this food situation?
Well, I'm not much for knowledge of the foliage and whatnot. Typically, Jix would be gathering the food, but what do we have in the way of things that can be foraged?
It's not easy. You can see around you. It's not a desert, but it's on the way. It's arid. It's dry. You've walked past some cracked earth. You haven't had any rain in quite a while. There's shrubs, some prickly bushes, some trees. There have been some forest far out in the distance, but you've passed those by a day or two ago. So it's not impossible, but it's not easy.
Is there any way I can fish for fish that have not met Little Xander?
Yeah, maybe that might be the case. I
try to stay away from the warm stream and go fish there.
Okay. You need to work with some crude supplies, break out some survival, and make a survival roll for me, Sir Brimrose.
All right. A 17.
With a 17, you've got some crude hunk of metal that you kind of bend around and you tie it to some strange piece of thread that you have, and you wrap it around a stick, and you're just whipping it around out into that lake, and you're trying your best. It's not great, but it's a start. Sildren, you look like you might have had something to say.
Yeah, so I'm going to inspect the food, provided that it is all rotten and gone. I'm going to find a spot to bury it.
Okay.
And then Yathane and I will go forage. If there's nothing, within a couple hours, then come back and send Yathane out to go fishing, maybe.
All right. You start looking around, getting away from the loudness of the pew-pews and the cursing from the knight as he fishes, and you start looking for ways to forage. I know you're a druid, are you vegetarian, vegan, cannibalistic? What's your food situation?
Vegetarian by choice, omnivore by necessity. So traveling, when in this type of situation, I will eat meat just because it's sustenance. But if there's any option, otherwise I don't.
Phrasing is
more
animal by will.
Yeah, I guess preferred, I suppose, at this moment would be pescatarian because fish don't have any feelings. So
or souls. Everyone remember that.
Okay. Brenros, make a survival roll for me for overall fishing. You're out there for 10, 15 minutes, just getting started, trying to get something for the group.
So the 17 I rolled earlier, that's something else.
That was initial supplies of you don't have fishing supplies, so.
How's a 17 again?
A 17 again.
I'm consistent.
That is decent, but maybe not ideal. Let's see. You throw out your line, you wait, you tell Xander to stop scaring everything away.
But I almost got it!
And you throw out, and then with the 17, you hook a fish and you start pulling it in. It's not ideal because you don't have any kind of reel type thing, so you start pulling it with your stick. Make one more survival roll and get a 20 or higher.
All right.
You can do it.
Exciting fishing action!
Super 20! Right on.
Consistent.
You got a total of 20.
Total
All
of
right.
20.
You whip it out. You start bringing it back and snapping it back and pulling this fish. And it's the big one Xander spotted earlier. And this should thankfully last you for a while. You pull and you get right up to the edge. And flying out comes the huge mouse of this nasty fish. And it is 7 feet tall with wings and is a river drake that was in the river hunting for fish on its own. It's about 7 feet tall. It's a mini dragon with no front claws, but it's got these wings that flap up. It comes out of the water with a and comes flying right at you, Brenrose, with
It's always a bigger fish.
free surprise round. And Brenrose is let's see, a 20 to hit and a 23 to hit.
They will both miss.
All right.
Or they make contact, but no
penetration.
Yeah, no penetration.
All right. It claws and then it stabs at you with a spiked tail from behind, and it does not get through. And it is a new round, and let's go. Brenrose, you are first. Xander, you're right there with them, and Sildren, you're going to take a turn to run back as you're hearing the sounds of chaos.
With a free action, Brenrose leans back. I caught something! And I'm assuming I didn't go fishing with my shield, but I probably have my sword.
No shield.
No shield. But I do have my sword. So, using the fishing rod in one hand, kind of tugging at it, and the sword in the other, I will go ahead and make a first of a series of attacks here. And here we go.
Ah, kill it! It's huge!
A 25 to hit.
25 hits.
25 to hit.
It's right on the beach screeching at you.
13 points of damage.
Okay.
Second attack
13, got it.
is a 24 to hit.
Really, with your second attack?
Yep.
That is also a hit.
Nice.
Fantastic. That is 14 points of damage.
There you go.
Ooh, another big cut across this creature's chest, midsection. You draw blood. One more time. That's 14. Lots of blood come pouring out. Xander, you see Sir Brenrose is doing some damage. This thing is right on him. He's dropped his pole, is slashing with his sword. And Xander, you can see there is a second river drake flies out of the water, cascading water falling off of its wings. It kind of hovers there for a second, flaps once, twice, and comes screeching towards you guys. It'll be there in just a little bit. Xander, what do you want to do?
Oh, did I get a third action, by the way?
No, you had to draw your weapon.
Had to draw. You cut out for a second there, Tom. How far away is the second drake?
About 45 feet.
45. So that's very close. Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I try to attack them both at once or if I should cut them both off. What do you think? What do you think?
On your own.
Okay, Xander will run around behind Sir Brenrose to line up both drakes together and fire a lightning bolt.
Is little Xander away? You haven't exactly spent an action.
I told you I was going to fire a lightning bolt, and I have a very specific way that I do that. Little Xander's super imperative right now.
My wand of lightning, mini lightning bolts.
Pew pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Okay, so you're getting behind the knight and lining up a lightning bolt that would hit the knight and the two drakes.
No, getting around the knight to hit both drakes and not Sir Brenrose.
So you're in front of me.
You cannot do that. He is face to face, toe to toe with one of them.
Yeah.
So it would be bad for you to. There's no room for you to get in there.
Check and copy that. We're gonna change that up a little bit, and instead, Xander's going to cast a wall of fire in between the two drakes. So if the drake just came out of the water, Xander's just going to reach up. And just in like a screaming fashion, he's going to take this red aura from inside and just let it grow like up and over him and throw it. So like he's throwing two fireballs, but they're going to form a wall of fire, which is a brand new 4th level spell that I just learned.
All right. This fire lights up and extends out. And you said you're doing this horizontally across the path, right?
Correct. So I'm trying to get it high enough so I think I can make it about 60 feet long and like 10 feet high.
Correct. And 5 feet thick of flames. Nice. You have an action. No, that takes 3 actions.
That was 3 actions for
That's
that one. It's all
spell. Fire impossibly is blazing on top of this lake. And it is the Drake's turn. The one that is wounded is going to do a vomitous caustic mucus blast at the both of you.
Is that the technical term? Vomitous
Yes.
caustic mucus blast?
Yes.
It's a harsh spell.
And it goes, and this blackish greenish goo goes flying at the both of you guys. You need to make reflex saves, 19 or higher. Oh, I almost rolled max damage.
22 for Xander.
26 for Brenrose.
All right, you guys each take 11 points of damage still.
Ow!
But you don't take any persistent burning acid, so that's great. And for its last action, it bites at Sir Brenros with a 24 to hit with its big teeth.
It will latch onto some armor, but make no purchase.
All right.
Woo!
The other Drake is going too fast and flies right through that flame, taking 4d6 points of fire damage.
Nice.
I'm assuming
roll
the
that?
fish I was intending to cook is
I
either
got-
cooked or dead.
Look at that. Burn it! Ooh, not bad. 13.
13. 13. It flies through it, takes some fire. There's now fire that's steaming the water that was on it off. It comes flying over the 3 of you, the creature, Xander, and Sir Brenros, and delays just enough. It's vomiting caustic mucus blast and blast that at the 2 of you guys. Make another reflex save to try and duck out of the way of this acid.
Yeah! Oh, it's only a 16! I want to roll again! Xander's gonna spend a hero point.
Hero point.
I will spend one as well.
All right.
We both rolled 4s. That's awful. Ah! There we go. It's a 5. Much better. 17!
Oh, and Brenros blew it as well.
Damn it!
Say goodbye to those hero points. Holy moly.
That sucks.
You guys
don't forget, Sir Brenrose, you had 3 at the beginning of this session.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, you had a bonus. You had a bonus. You guys take 15 points of acid damage and take 1d6 persistent acid. You can add that as like just a new effect in Fantasy Grounds. Just put purse 1d6 acid or something like that. And wow, you guys have that. That creature is done. Sildren, you were running over there. Your turn, unfortunately, is done.
I have my bow.
You can shoot your bow. Yeah.
Okay. So I will draw and fire my bow.
All right. 90. You're about 100 feet away.
All right. 100 feet. That's good, I believe. Yeah, range is 100.
Longbow. Yep.
It's going to be a 31 to hit.
Which creature are you attacking?
I am attacking the one that is already been wounded, the one that has attacked Brenrose.
Okay,
that's like melee combat. Yeah.
You, Xander, you're firing your wall of fire. You dodge some acid, and all of a sudden, a arrow comes whipping past your head, delivering a critical hit to the River Drake. Roll critical hit damage, Sildren.
It's going to be, I guess, a total of 6.
Big 6. That's not critical.
And hold on, the longbow's deadly, so it gets an extra plus D10.
1d10, yes.
It was there.
For a
9.
crazy 3.
I got a total
9.
of 9.
Total of
points
9.
damage.
Hold on, let me do all this math here. Hold on. Okay, that was anticlimactic. You still have 2 more actions.
I will. How far away is Yathane from the River Drake at the moment?
Same, 100 feet.
Okay. Then I will fire my longbow a second time. I'm sorry, I needed to do the second one. Do you want me to keep that roll and just modify it or
Yeah.
re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 19
19 to hit, yeah.
is a hit.
Sweet. So that's going to be 3 points of damage.
Another arrow sticks in the creature. Squeals.
This is not my specialty, but
Stop using the suction cup arrows.
It's nerf for nothing.
Nerf for nothing. Yeah.
And final action will be to activate my bracelet of dashing, and Yathane will fly 60 feet towards that same river drake that I've put a couple arrows into.
All right, Brenros, you've got one that's kind of just hovering right in front of you. Blood is pouring out of multiple wounds, multiple arrows. There's another one that's about 10 feet above you that's right now just flying right overhead. What do you want to do, Brenros?
Is the one flying overhead in any kind of reach of me?
It's 10 feet above you, so no.
So 5, no. Okay. So I will be slashing out at this one that's in front of me that's pouring blood on me. And here we go. A 34
is a critical
There you
hit.
go.
Oh my god.
See if you can do at least 9 points of big damage.
For the
There's
record.
18, and there's 11 for a total of 29 points of damage.
29. To his credit, though, I don't think you'd heal as much as Sildren does. Let's give Sildren
Is there
some
any way in ending him I produce gently filleted
Yeah, there's a couple choice Drake steaks you hack off of it. Just the right cut. You still have 2 actions.
2 actions?
That creature is dead.
I guess it would be sprinting back to my horse and obtaining my shield for my
All right. Xander, you've got a creature 10 feet over you, shrieking. This mini dragon.
Like straight up? He's like above me?
Yes.
Oh, that's easy. I'm going to cast a lightning bolt. Every chance I get.
It makes a little reflex save.
Does have a reflex save.
18.
That is not enough. It will take full damage, which is 15.
Oh, not big.
Wow.
That's about what I did with 2 arrows.
Yeah,
It's accompanied by thunder, which does more damage.
Yeah.
it could be a max of, what is it, 48?
48 points of damage.
Yeah, it's not. It's 15.
4 times 12, 48 plus 4 is 52. You should have averaged 26 points of damage each time you do that. You rolled 15.
Good job, buddy.
Impressive. It looks
Yeah. You have 1 action left, Xander.
Oh, yeah, Xander's going to shield up. Whoop! I'm just grabbing the water and the stones, pulling them all over me, and just making a little Xander ball.
Cool. And I also show in Fantasy Grounds you have 16 temporary hit points. Any reason why that's the case?
No.
All right.
I can get rid of that.
Yeah, get rid of that. I think that was just old leftover. All right. That Drake goes, and it, as it gently descends onto Xander, it strikes with its fangs with a 26 to hit.
Ah, my shield's up. It still gets me.
Bites you for 14 points of piercing, and
Ow!
then strikes with its pointed tail with a total of 20 to hit.
That does not hit.
And a total of 19 to hit.
Still doesn't hit. And I stick my tongue out.
All right, Sildren.
So I will do a single move action, which with the bracelet of dashing will take me 45 feet closer.
Ooh, that's fast.
I will, with my second action, I will fire my longbow at this drake for a total of 18 to hit.
Your arrow flies straight and true, but somehow gets zapped by a bolt of lightning and burns up instantly.
That's my bad.
And then I will spend my final action to maneuver Yathane. She will fly the last bit of the distance, and she will make an attack herself, attacking this river drake with jaws of steel.
Jaws or Jaws?
Jaws. 20 to hit.
Is a hit.
Yep. All right, perfect. So she will do 11 points of damage to the river drake.
And she kind of looks back at you, Sildren, and winks with the damage that she did.
I rolled 10.
Yathane claws, screeches, bites. You've got this this gorgeous black raven attacking this 7-foot tall dragon in aerial combat. Sir Brenros, you have your shield. You're back at your horse. The beast is within striking distance. You just need to run back there with your first action.
I need to run back there with my first action. My second action is to quickly look around while I'm under this thing and see if we've disturbed like a coven of these things, and are we in further danger?
You look around and you see there are not a dozen pairs of eyes just rising out of the water. There are
bubbling
not.
water. All right. Feeling secure with that, my third action will be to strike out at this creature with a natural 20.
Whoa, there you go.
You may take this last Drake down.
It is who's in front of me presently?
Xander.
Xander?
Gore and Viscera.
Gore and Viscera. Sorry, Xander. The slashes come quickly to the underbelly as in one deft and fell move, Brenros doesn't even stop. He just drags his sword underneath this thing, and the viscera tumbles upon poor Xander.
Oh, that's gross!
That's gross, but it makes a good title name, Gore and Viscera!
Worth it!
The creature is disemboweled, it collapses, while Sildren and Xander are trying to compliment Brenros on your great tactical prowess. You ignore them and just start Chef Ramsaying this Drake as well.
What you need is... Okay.
Make a survival roll, sir, Brenros.
Oh.
And I'm also going to extract teeth from this, if I may.
All right.
I have some wyvern teeth and some other things that I've collected along the way.
Done.
A 23 for that survival roll.
23. You are able to harvest some meat that should definitely last you the next 2 days and serve you well.
Yay!
Some good came of this. We have some food now that hasn't spoiled, or at least resistant to it.
I still didn't get a fish, though.
This may be better than
had a
fish.
We had one. Holds up the ashen remnants of wall of fire produced.
Toasted lake.
This Drake's tail, is there anything special about it? You mentioned that it I think struck out at Xander with it. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just a pointy barbed tail. It looks like it should be poisonous, but it is not. It's just a barbed, nasty. It's only like a blade at the end of the tail.
Can I extract the barbs?
Make a survival roll. Get a 20 or higher.
22.
Yep, you were able to add that to your Jixian-like collection.
Now have wyvern teeth. I have, what else did there was something else that I had.
You making a doll? What are you doing?
Kind of.
Himself.
The Invidiac Fang, that's right.
That's right, NVIDIA Fang.
So how many Drake teeth do I get?
Let's just say a small amount. You weren't able to recover all of them. 17.
Beautiful.
I kind of feel like I should get something for Jix, like to say that we were thinking of him and we should bring it back.
We
give him like
plenty here.
Maybe save like an eyeball or something. I don't want to carry it. Gross. But if you want to, Sildren, you seem like you're right there doing it. Gross.
I got what I needed from it. If you so wish, be my guest.
I'm not very good at this. I'll try.
As Yathane gobbles down one of its eyes.
No!
Xander gets out his dinner spoon and starts trying to get an eyeball out.
Gingerly from as far as he can. Just
can't cut.
It still wasn't dead.
One-eyed, belly exposed.
So, presuming danger is past, Sildren is still going to try to do some foraging in the area to see, he's not going to wander far now that, there's been some danger to the camp, but I am still going to try to, get some berries or, some like roots or truffles or something. I don't know, like whatever might be around.
Okay. Make a survival roll. -2 for staying not too far away from straying too far away.
Alrighty.
Brenros begins to move the camp a little bit further away from the river,
21.
starting that fire.
All right. Okay. You are able to find some scrappy, unpleasant tasting berries that are safe to eat and nourishing, as well as some roots that are tough to eat but also nourishing and will go well apparently with steaks and from Drake's and a nice white wine. You guys deal with your camp. You're able to rest a bit. You travel again the next day. As you travel, you are traveling again through this arid landscape of Thave. Yes.
I assume we get fully healed up.
Yes.
Okay.
If nothing else, the champion Sir Brenros with his lay on hands is significant amount of healing. So yeah.
Or out of combat, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
for sure.
Okay. The landscape again is dry, bush-like. You see some forests off in the distance that you're not hitting anywhere near, and you just start traveling by horses through.
Sildren keeps like kind of angling towards that and
They
has
have
to be
pull
corrected.
you away.
Yeah.
It's lots of hills now that you're going up and down, and you guys aren't just riding your horses. Again, you have this string of horses behind, so you can travel faster and faster and swap out. I'm imagining Sildren's not too excited about pushing the animals that hard, but apparently time is of the essence for the group.
Yeah, I mean, Sildren's tending to them, making sure that they remain healthy through the process. But yeah, time is of importance here, so we are pressing them a little bit. I would think.
Okay.
Not enough to lame any of them, but to definitely they'll be tired.
All right. It is nighttime, and you are soon, you think by tomorrow, will arrive in the town of Sarvide, where this chalice was known to be headed. It is nighttime on your hopefully last day of traveling there. You guys are camped. There's a fire going. You're eating the last of your Drake steaks, which is fun to say. And I don't know, Xander is doing some sort of hand slapping thing with Sir Brenros, teaching him how to do different things, just passing time.
I don't understand why this is so hard. Up, then up, down, then down. Up, then up, down, then down. Same hand, same twice. Up, down, down. Up, down, down. Up, down, down. You got this.
Deep breath.
I just imagine just smack.
He's just doing this
Smacks
stuff.
his hands out of
Hey,
the
I'm
way.
a gnome now. And
I can use my shield for this.
as that's happening, Sildren, you take notice that coming up the road in the direction you're headed is a lantern making its way towards you, and you can see by its height and the sounds that accompany it, it is atop a wagon as someone is making his way along the road towards your camp area.
In the dark?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's 1, 1,
Brenros, Xander.
1, 2.
Up,
There's
down, down. Up, down, down. Up,
a
down, down.
Done.
There's a wagon coming. I'm going to circle around and stay in the woods while they approach.
We have a big fire going presently.
There's a fire. You've got your horses not too far away.
Yeah, I mean,
Sildren mentioned woods, which is totally not the case. They're small shrubs. He will be hunkering down around it.
Okay. Well, I will be a creature of the night and stalk out, and I'm gonna flank the wagon to try and A, see who's coming, and B, provide fire support from the dark if it's anything that's not good.
All right. Brenros, Xander, anything you're doing? You see this wagon is coming right towards you.
Also noted, Yathane is staying in the camp. She's right there where in a tree, not a tree, but in a shrub where the she's sitting on a log by the fire, I guess.
Just chilling out.
Yeah.
Brenros is rising to greet whoever is coming.
All right.
So Xander watching Sildren kind of ninja away, he's going to kind of brace, but mostly just kind of ready for a spell if there's anything that comes up being hinky.
All right, Sildren, make a overall stealth roll for me, please.
Sure.
The wagon closes in towards you as Sildren disappears into the night very poorly.
I'm going to use a hero point on that one. Yeah.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2, so we're going to just re-roll that puppy.
Good choices.
And I rolled a 4 instead, so a total of 17.
Yeah!
17. You disappear into the night, but it's a little dark. You forget you have dark vision and bring a torch log from the fire with you just so you can. All right, yeah, you're fine. You're heading out there, and just there's like a little gully, and they can just hear oh damn and sound. The wagon
Wasn't there before.
The wagon approaches and it stops maybe 40 feet away, and you hear a big voice say, "Good evening. I mean no trouble and hope to share your fire tonight."
Space is available. Fire is there. You're welcome if you are peaceful.
Indeed I am. Get the light. And you see the lantern is lifted off of a hook on the wagon, and there is a big rotund man. He's got the Thavian look about him, which tends to be a slightly reddish skin with that looks like it's been well worn by the sun. With him is a young lady, some attendant who is holding the lantern. He's got some traveling clothes on, but looks to be a little more upscale than the usual travelers you've seen on the road so far. And he hops off the wagon with a bit of effort, and the wagon rocks a little bit. And he steps up to your fire, to the two of you, Brenros and Xander. Well, I am Barretto. It's a trader by trade, I guess you could say. It's good to meet some friendly faces out on the road here.
Brenros of the Knight of the Vigilant, and my companion, Xander, a wizard of renown.
I'm a sorcerer. I don't know any wizards. I know one. His name's Gabe. He's not here. He's way up north in Edlinholm. That's where I'm from. I'm a defender of Navarre. We're all defenders of Navarre, and we're here because we're on a mission. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, I think I caught half of that, and half of that I wish I hadn't caught.
Please have a seat. You look like you could deal with some warmth. Are the nights always this cold out here?
Get my stool, he says, and his attendant goes and gets the stool. Knight of the Order of the Sigil, did you say?
Vigilant, the Vigilant.
Oh, I think I've heard of your kind before. I'm surprised to see a knight like that here in Thave.
We're looking for something while we are traveling, but we are looking for something, hence our presence.
A stool is brought, a tiny stool, and he sits down on it and says, "Get a tent going quickly, and get some dinner going. We need to take care of our new friends here. We don't come looking for company and security without bringing a bit of something to the table."
Brenneros looks at Xander. Are not interested in wyvern steak tonight?
I mean, it's been fine for the last couple of nights, but we can't say no to a gift.
Very well, I'll put it away.
His servant comes and is setting up a big tent, like a pavilion-like tent, and she is struggling like crazy to lift these poles, and this is like a 3-person job. He's not lifting a finger to help, and she's trying to hold this one up, run over and get another one up, and start nailing something down in.
And Sildren's just right there, just walking.
From the shadows! You're doing it right.
I was going to say, I'm actually going to approach via the wagon, kind of give it a once over, and then just sort of start helping out the servant person without really, saying much about it. Just like suddenly I'm just handing her one of the, one of the tet poles and just right there.
She's surprised. Oh, I didn't see you there.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
And what's your name?
My name is Shanir, and she doesn't engage you further and gets back to work.
Had you mentioned the trader's name was Barros?
I think it was Burrito.
Burrito.
Half rice, please. No, his name is not Barris, nor is it Burrito.
I misheard it then.
Well, bully for you then, huh?
Well done. Good notes.
I missed your name amidst the crackling of the fire.
Bully for you then, knight.
Defeated again.
The name is Barretto. I almost had a cop show named after me in the 70s.
Oh, no.
So like burrito with an E. I got it.
Stay in my head.
Hell's Kitchen action. All right.
The tent is slowly taking shape, and he throws out another yell. All right, just stop with the tent for a second and get some dinner going. I've got something the likes of you, I guess, haven't had before. Thavian rabbit. It's quite interesting. Not quite the hare you're used to, I'd imagine.
I can't say that I've ever tried it. Zenner?
No, it sounds amazing. What color is it? Where did it come from? How big are they? Are they fast? Are they slow? Do they live underground?
Oh, you have so much spunk in you, don't you?
Thank you.
When he gets food in him, he slows down.
Did you get your nap in, little one? Yes, these rabbits are tough, but they have an interesting flavor. And you know what? I've got the famous salt from Sarvide as well to go with it, the likes of which you've never had before. Let it be known that Barretto takes care of knights and his entourage.
Barretto, what kind of a life do you live that you have such exquisite foods and salts?
I'm a trader. I trade in all sorts of exotic goods. I take my wares up north to Navarre. If the season's right, maybe beyond to the Kingdom of Iveron further north. I think this trip, we will skip it. It's getting a bit cold now, and it gets a bit icy up north if you're caught unaware. But we are headed to near Scone. We will skip over to Tabernary, pass through the Fenmorrow Woods, and then make our way back. All in all, I'd say it'll be about a month-long trip. Profitable trip.
Have you made that trip lots of times before?
I have, indeed. I normally have some bit of security with me, but they've been hard to come by this time, and I didn't want to wait too long before any colder weeks set in, so here we are.
Forgive me, Barretto, and it is good to have your company. You mentioned you were a trader and you dealt with exotic goods. I happen to be looking for something. Maybe you can help.
I deal in many things. In particular, I notice none of you have any sashes. It's a common social grace here in Thave, and he shows his. It's just a sash of silk. It shows a bit of status, a bit of class. You have to be careful if you're dealing with some of the more disreputable people. They may take it as a sign of flaunting your wealth, but when you're dealing in more business trade like I am, or political realms, having a sash can certainly look good and impressive. I have several colors. Could I interest you in some?
Yes!
And he goes, stop with the food and go get Chumley. No, stop with the food.
Bring the other cart.
And go get some silks. Is this what you were looking for, knight? Silk and finery?
No, actually. I'm looking for a chalice. I do not have one to present you, but... and he proceeds to describe what this chalice might actually be. It's actually a relic, and I am trying to find it. It was taken some time ago, and maybe you've come across it, or maybe you've heard of it.
You describe the chalice in detail, and after a while he says, "That sounds like quite the treasure, but I can't say I've heard of such an item."
Perhaps you might know of someone who could guide me further to finding this particular item. Very particular item, and those sashes do look very nice.
Oh, yeah, they range anywhere from, for you, 5 silver for the cheaper end, though I would not recommend it. There is 12 silver for the nicer ones, and I've got a 50 silver brand that I think would look quite lovely on you and or your henchman here.
I'm a henchman!
Oh, boy. Very well, and Brenrose proceeds to examine the goods and carry the conversation more towards how he could assist. So, might you know anyone who could assist in this regard? I could use someone to reach out to in Sarvide, which is where I believe the item to be.
Oh, I wouldn't say you'd find much a trade of a valuable item like that in Sarvide. It's not much of a town at all. It's a nothing town. If you're looking for something that exotic, you would need to head to the capital, Calaviaire. It's past Sarvide, another week and a half ride, I'd say, maybe a week if with all your horses. It's the capital, but and there is a trade guild there that could certainly help you. Mention my name, and they might be able to, with a few coins, point you in the right direction of some possible dealers. But I'd caution you, sir. I notice a bow here against this pack, and in particular, your sword. In our more cultured cities, particularly our capital and maybe even small towns, it's considered poor form to not have a peace string about your blade. That implies you're ready for war and violence strolling through town, and that would be poor form in many circles. It's a wrap that goes around the weapon hilt and wraps around the scabbard and prevents, say, an unruly person or someone who's had a bit too much wine from quickly drawing his weapon and bringing an end to someone, and it takes a bit of time and effort. So they come in many varieties. I happen to sell these, I must say, that come in several varieties, anywhere from 5 copper, 2 silver, 1 gold piece, and my finest, which I know would suit a man of your tastes, 8 gold for the finest quality peace string in the land.
Ooh, maybe I need one of those.
I would not want to be too gauche on that matter. This practice, it is throughout the kingdom?
It's throughout Thave, yes.
Throughout Thave. And he goes through and examines these peace strings, settling on a purchase about mid-grade.
Okay, that would be
Nothing
1
too
gold
flashy.
piece. And did you want to buy a sash as well?
The sash will be mid-grade as well.
Oh, I have
Alright.
a question. Brendan, can I ask a question?
Well, please.
You mentioned that there were other merchants. Do they also have different sashes? Like different colors of sashes? Because this one's not a lot of colors.
You are more of an autumn, but I sell the best. You might find other traders, but again, the capital would be your best bet.
So how do we know the other traders? Do they carry sashes like you, Barreto, or is there a different way to identify them, especially if they're in the guild?
If you're trying to identify them by the guild, you would look for a pendant of a snake, and he shows where you guys have like a hidden Meyer pin or a hidden wolf badge. He reveals that the little jewel, little brooch of a serpent on there.
That's neat. Why is it a snake?
That comes from the history of something long ago with the trade and how they were originally part of the Assassins Guild from long ago and became a splinter, but that was decades past and past my time. I may be a bit old, but not that old.
Do you know about the Assassins Guild? That sounds fascinating.
Indeed I do. I spoke too much! Sildren, you have helped quite a bit. The tent is being set up. There's like one last bit that needs to be held up while you run to the other side, and suddenly there's like a raven that's flying in place holding the top pinnacle, and then you get the rest of the tent. It's this nice big pavilion. There is rabbit that is being cooked by Shanier, who's running around like mad doing all of this stuff. And he offers Brenros money spent. What's going on with your money spent?
The total was gold piece for the sash, gold piece for the string.
Sure, that's mid-grade.
And Sildren's also going to purchase a piece string as well for one of the cheaper ones for 2 silver.
Okay, for which weapon of yours? The rapier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I assume the bow
It has its own
doesn't need a
string.
piece
It's good.
string, so...
And Xander, you have a weapon?
No, I don't. But it seems like a neat thing to get. Maybe I could get one sometime.
Xander is a weapon.
Yeah, he does the girls game with like tons of strings in his hands and he's locked in.
I'm sure this is a matter of nickel and diming the casual champion or warrior who wanders through town, but I've got like a multitude of weapons. Is it okay to have one piece string? Or do you need one for like the dagger that you have, the bow that you have, the javelin?
You ask him that and he says, well, you clearly need one for each blade that you have, yes.
So 3 piece strings. he ups and completes his purchase for gold.
And
All right.
10
5
piece
gold.
strings.
Yeah. I appreciate going through your wares here, and I do have more questions if you have time this evening.
I have plenty of time. You, by the way, as you are attaching these nice braided pieces of cloth, they will provide you a -2 to initiative if you do not have them out in advance.
So Sildren's not doing that yet. He's
Okay.
like, I'll do that right before going into town. But
Okay. Just keep that in mind. Or just let me know if you think, like some Clint Eastwood gunfighter, you unsnap the gun holster. You can do that as well, but that alerts other people that you're ready to go to town.
All right.
well, my thought is like, how quick would it be to like draw a concealed dagger, cut it, and then draw all the weapon?
It would be that would no.
Same.
Just,
Okay.
yeah, don't worry about that. Interesting question. Okay, you guys eat some of his rabbit.
Nope.
No, and
Sildren
Sildren does
does not.
not. The other 2 of you do. Sildren, you hang out with Shanier, who does not partake in the food, and she sits back away from the fire and has her own little rations. And
Yeah, I try and engage with her, talk to her if she will, and kind of things like that. Yeah, I'm kind of avoiding the main group at this point.
All right. She answers a few questions, but is a little intimidated by you, you think.
Aren't we all?
What else are I going to say? Oh, he asks you as the night continues, what rumors do you have from up north? I'm always interested to hear the news.
Well,
P-string that mouth, Xander.
Xander is just kind of bouncing up and down in place because he's so excited for stories.
the political world is an ever-changing scene in the north as it is right now.
Oh, man, you got no idea.
Cut away to Xander. There are rumors that the king might be returning to Mirskan, so it's created quite an uproar in this city.
Ooh.
Great tumult of different factions and whatnot.
That could be bad for trade.
Perhaps. but could be good for people, but we'll see. But those are the more pronounced rumors that I'm familiar with. Zener has quite a bit that he has to share.
I bet he does.
But before we proceed,
because there's only 9 hours left
I was
of
so
nighttime.
do you make your home in Sarvid?
No. I'm from Kassir. I passed through Sarvid to get my last bit of goods on my trip out.
On the off chance you might have heard a name if you had spent some time there. Perhaps the name Doris. Had you heard such a name?
In Sarvid, Doris. I have heard of a name of a man named Doris. He tried to sell me some strange magical dream catcher thing a year ago, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Seemed reasonable, but just a little pushy.
Might be the individual I'm looking for. But if you had word with him, then it's definitely a place we need to look. Zener, please feel free to fill in our friend here on the many rumors.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so the Taberry, there's an entire group of people that are out there. The last time you've been there's probably like 3 different places that you could trade and people that you can encounter with, and now there's an entire retiring brotherhood that goes and they can just kill the whole thing, and then we down to the sky and the giants and the giants and dragons and
Okay, and the night
sun
goes
sets.
And then rises, and Xander still finishing off.
because there was this one time there's this place in the
Everybody's
Nexus, there's a thing that was down, there's a whole bunch of monsters
Oh,
in there.
yes.
Giant insects!
Shows the city growing larger over time.
Beards are growing. Geological formation. All right. He says, what if, let me just interrupt you for a moment. Let you catch your breath. What if I've only ever gone as far north as Ivorite? Have you heard any tales of the Dragon Queen of Jarvain further up in the icy wastes?
No! That sounds amazing! What do you know?
Dangerous.
I've heard that there is a kingdom up north, far up north, amongst the snowy mountains. There's a grand city, and that grand city is ruled over by a queen, not of human or elven or gnomish descent, but of an actual dragon, a white dragon, an ancient old white dragon.
And she's the queen of a kingdom in Jarvain?
That's right.
Wow. Do you know her name?
I have not heard a name.
What lore would Brenros, having read of possibly dragons in his childhood, would he have known of such a creature?
Make a society roll.
Society. Society says 16.
16, you have heard possibly of such rumors, but you're not sure.
Imagine such dangerous things are best left to the north. A cold, cold place, I'm told.
That is true. Well, what could I tell you then? To the south, there is the great Azamir Wall that has plagued our beautiful country for so long. A
Sylvan
magical
kind of
wall that
perks up to
stretches
that.
across our whole almost our whole southern border, created by those mad wizards on their island. I have been hearing from the capital that's I would say that we are not a necessarily organized nation, particularly when it comes to armies, but there is a force of multiple multiple squads of brave young men that are gathering at the wall at different parts to see what kind of attack this is from the Azamir wizards. It's been a year or so now that this wall has been there, and we don't take kindly to that. I mention this just not for entertainment at the fire. No. I mention it because, my young gnome, you told me you were not a wizard per se, but a sorceress, I believe.
Yes, pretty close.
Now, we are not fond and have not been fond of these Azamir wizards for many, many years. And now that they have actually taken land from us, wizardry in all its forms is illegal here within Thave. I would keep that to yourself.
What? So, I just want to make sure I understand correctly. If I don't know, cast a fire somewhere. Start a fire.
No, don't start a fire.
Okay, no, let's say it's not fire. What if I happen to just need to save somebody with a bunch of lightning? And that's...
That would, no, there should be no lightning, no fire, no demons, no nothing.
Water? Can I throw water if I did a spell? Just...
Well, obviously water's fine.
Okay,
but
good.
No, nothing's allowed.
What? Is that just in Servide? Calaviaire that's not all of Thave. There's got to be some magic here because it's natural. It's a part of. It's got to be somewhere.
There is magic in Thave, but it is fully contained within the Blood Witches of Calaviaire, and they pass the laws, and the laws state any wizardry or sorceressery or whatever it is you call it is strictly outlawed. Clearly, any wizardry would be a sign that you would be an agent of Azamir, he says, looking at Xander with the same look Xander's looking at him with.
Silder's expression has gotten kind of dark at this. He's not pleased to hear this conversation.
I'm afraid, Xander, it seems your skills are taboo.
If I wore a sash, could I do just a little bit of fire? Just
a little bit of peril.
Or is there a way to indicate that I am not an agent of Azamir? Because I'm not. I want to be really clear. I come from Edlin home. I'm a defender of Navarre. Woo!
Dare I ask, Sir Barreto, what is the punishment for such a thing?
I heard of wizards who need to speak their words and cast their spells with their hands and work their vile magic against the country, and I have heard that there was a punishment delivered, I'd say a month ago, where a couple wizard agents were uncovered not far from the wall, and they had their hands removed publicly before their heads were removed. The only way to be sure no magic is cast or spoken, or so I'm told.
So Brenrose takes a peace string and puts it in Xander's mouth.
That's called a ball gag. Oh, and you had that out a little too quick.
Too easy.
We have different techniques in our realm.
Why does it smell like Idrisil?
It's pasty. Well, it's...
Wowie wow. Oh, thank you
I'm not even looking
so
at the
much.
I can only imagine.
Barreto, this would have been a really bad thing to not know about going into town, so I appreciate you.
Are you going to be all right with this, Xander?
No, I'm not all right at all, but now I know not to be myself. I think I need to sit down more.
Perhaps a high-quality sash might sway anyone coming across that you are at least making good efforts to live within the culture of Thave.
Yes, I want to look like I fit in and not cast magic. Do I need to get rid of my hat?
Oh yes, I totally forgot. You had the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon blue starred hat on.
Definitely not a wizard.
Totally incognito. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I would recommend something other. You know, I happen to have a selection of caps and hats that might fit a head such as your children's berets, to be specific.
They sound
Beret
lovely.
alternative. Nice.
He is able to give you a fine child's beret. It's for a girl for 4 silver that fits on jauntily.
Can I spend a total of 10 silver for a sash and a beret?
Yes, this is the visual is delightful. We're role playing a dire need for a sash and a beret from a girl's clothing line.
I really need to not die.
All right, so that happens.
And Sildren approaches Burrito.
Renrose draws his sword. Who is this man? I never saw you.
He says, "Oh, the name is Barretto."
Barretto. I am Sildren, and if you have any influence amongst your kingdom, I can tell you the Wizards of Azamir will not take lightly to having their appendages separated from their body. And the mithril barrier is more there for your protection than anything. So you would be well to warn off your blood witches from any aggressive action towards the kingdom of Azamir if you have such influence with your people.
Well, I would say that I've lost a bit of trade myself to the some of our southern towns being cut off from the wall, and I don't have political influence like that, and I think it might be best if we try not to say their names much anymore this evening. But the ladies we have spoken of, I am not in disagreement with you. I think they have power very focused in the capital. Beyond that, I could certainly see danger ahead if the wizards from Azamir decided to encroach further.
Hopefully we don't have to stay long enough to meet either side.
That's actually a really good point. Sir Brenros, would the chalice be something that the witches might need, or something that could end up in Azamir, if it, based on its importance, or is it really just fancy?
Renrose bristles a little bit. I can assure you that they would be taken advantage of to a negative. Once holy and sacred relics, easily taken to darker use. So yes, a witch, anyone could actually use it, but it would bring out a darker side. There's no doubt about it, which is why they need to be destroyed.
Oh,
And he goes back to cleaning his helmet.
All right.
neat.
One thing that might help you, he says, as he affixes this sash to Xander. One thing that might help, I'm not sure if you saw me in the darkness as I approached. I gave you the traditional Thavian greeting, the 2 fingers to the nose and forehead upon arrival. That might also help soothe any negotiations that might come your way on your business here in Thave.
Like this?
You do it with a bit of officiality. It's much more casual.
Like this?
You'll get it. You'll get it.
I'm gonna keep practicing.
Keep practicing.
Children, hello. I don't think he got it right. He used only 1 finger.
The night continues on. He shares some wine. Anything else you guys want to talk about with him?
Nope.
It's departed on that. How far away is Kasir, the capital?
Great question.
Yeah, he said about a week's ride with all of our horses out of Servide.
A week's ride.
Yes.
It does push the timeline a bit.
Let me double check. Yeah, you'd think it's maybe, no, it's going to be a little less than that. Probably 5 days.
Well, I do hope we can find what we need to in less time.
Oh, I've got one more question before we head out when the fire dying and all. How many tradesmen do you typically trade with in Thave? Do you have like a group? Are you? I see you're a part of the guild. Is there like a faction of the guild? Do you have like besties? Is there anyone else that you travel with, or are you guys just always individual? Do you pass each other on the roads and have a fight, or like trade between each other, or how does that work with? I'm so fascinated by trade.
Clearly, we roam from town to town, doing our trade, delivering our wares. There isn't any connection other than being an official member of the guild.
You ever have to muscle anyone else out of your town?
I don't do with that, as I am a trader who travels. I don't trade much within the Thave. I take my exotic wares elsewhere where I can fetch a premium price.
That's fantastic. You're fantastic. Right. This rabbit was great, by the way. Never had purple before. That's tasty.
Yeah, and you guys then rest for the night. You're sleeping on the ground in your bedrolls as the fire's dying out. He's in this giant pavilion, and in the morning time, his servant, who looks exhausted, has some breakfast that's ready to go. And she is breaking down the tent all by herself again, as he is just lounging around chatting a last bit with you guys. And then she hauls it all into the wagon by herself again as he bids you all farewell. It was a pleasure meeting you all, and I wish you well in your adventure to find this cup that you're after, Sir Brenros.
Thank you, and I wish you safe travels as well. You fine animals you have here, they should take you safely where you need to go. And he gently pats the back of the animal.
Roll initiative!
And lets them go on their way.
All right. They climb aboard their wagon and ride off, and Shanir casts one last look at the only one to engage with her Sildren as they slowly make their way northwest towards Navarre.
Mouthing "help me" is
Yeah.
You guys get on to your horses and ride off. You ride hard throughout the day and make your way straight south to the town of Servide. What you see is that you cross a rocky pass in the hills and see below a wide valley stretched across the horizon. The valley is covered in a very shallow lake that probably disappears in the summer when the sun bakes it away. Within this shallow water is the town of Servide. On a plateau of raised earth is a circle of old stone buildings. No wall of any kind, just different buildings, all made of various designs of architecture you've not seen before. And within this circle of buildings is the town itself, which is a couple hundred tents and shacks all scattered and cluttered together in random clumps. You can see this from about a mile away or two as you're coming out of this pass in the hill. While this is the most water you've seen in Thave, one striking feature is instead of a lake valley of green bushes and trees, there's no vegetation of any kind. Instead, the ground just underneath the water is made of white salt as far as you can see. Dozens of mounds of salt, some 6 feet high, some up to 20 feet high, are gathered out from the lake and piled together. You can see a lot of of workers with shovels, rakes, and buckets hauling salt out of the shallow lake onto the mounds, or from the mounds onto wooden shipping way stations up on the plateau where the built structures and the tents are all located. You descend out of the pass. Your horse's hooves splash into the salty water as you make your way towards the town of tents and shacks. Again, the water's not deep, maybe about a foot or less. A wagon loaded with barrels encrusted with salt slogs past, going up north in the opposite direction. You ride past a mound where two women measure out buckets before slinging them over their shoulders and trudging through the water towards the earthen plateau of the town. You do get some unusual looks, as they don't often get people looking like you in these parts. And you're kind of heading up a small little path that rides out of the lakey bit and up to the plateau where the town is.
And there is a forest to the east somewhere, is that correct?
There is a forest. You can see it's, you saw it just as you were coming down the hills into the pass to begin with. You would say it's maybe, let me check my map real fast. That forest is about maybe an hour away. You can see it off in the horizon.
Okay.
Real quick, if it's very Tom, Xander would like to use his diplomat's badge.
What's the diplomat's badge?
With his diplomat's badge, it's activated by recalling knowledge, and I get to use it once per day. I get to attempt a check to recall knowledge about a people of a certain human ethnicity, or non-human, or this type of creatures, depending on what I want to do it. If I succeed, the badge's bonus increases +2 for diplomacy checks with creatures of that group.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'd like to use it for Thavians.
Okay. You've got a bonus now. Yes, that's the first time this has been used.
Yeah.
I like.
A big magical display when it goes off.
There better be.
Sildren has put on the peace string on his sword, so that's attached to it.
Okay.
As loosely as can be done while still serving the function that it's supposed to.
Peace string is literally a bowstring.
Yeah.
That's a fine idea now.
I don't like the thought of it, but it may pay us to be as incognito as possible as we pass through. And I'm looking at Xander, like past Sir Brendro, straight at Xander while I'm saying that. Like,
We don't want to stand out, Xander.
yeah. Remember, wizardry is forbidden here.
Peace strings all around too.
Mm-hmm.
Brenros takes the time to put and assemble his as well as.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Sildren has a dagger, but it's concealed, so I'm not peace stringing that.
Okay.
So
Oddly, I'm feeling a bit exposed in all this armor with no cloak. I am certain to stand out.
Well, you have a really nice sash, so that's working.
It just covers. It's one giant
My shield sash.
burqa type thing. Yes. All right, you guys have ridden your horses, and again, it's not just the three of you. You got this 8, 9 horses in total.
Mhm.
9, yeah.
9, yeah.
3 each.
And you go up this path. The air feels salty. You can look down and see there's crusted salt already splashed on the water up onto your horse's legs and their chest. And you make your way up this road to the plateau above. You pass by some of these structures, and I am going to make a roll for all three of you, and we will have
I didn't do it. I didn't even get my invitation.
Brenros, you don't know the details, but you look at these unique structures there's maybe 20 of them that circle around this big wide plateau. They're the only permanent looking structures here made of stone. And as you pass by two, you believe that these are temples set up from obscure gods. You have no idea what they are, but that's
That'll
what
save
you
me a
believe.
question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you guys ride past those, and then there's a clump of tents, and then there's 4 tents around a shack made of wood, maybe with a thin metal door. And you can see there's a blacksmith hammering away. There's some necessities here. There's a market with some food. What are you guys looking for?
So when what's his name again, Brenros? Dakine? Just you said it so well last night.
Darice.
Darice, when he was speaking with Barretto was saying that he tried to sell him some sort of a dream catcher, right? That's magic. That's a magical thing. So maybe Darice is trying to offload magic things and maybe upload them. So maybe we should be looking for somebody that's like their own kind of trade. Like if there was like a dark gray market in here or something that would be even dark, blackish that people would trade that's not supposed to be seen anywhere, right? Right? Maybe we could find something like that.
We can, but where would we look? We would only be able to start here, as far as I can see.
You can spend some time and with your society knowledge, spend a couple hours milling about town and try and gather some broad information.
Xander is also a hobnobber.
Tell us about this.
So, Xander has got an ability. Let me pull it up. You are skilled at learning information through conversation. The gather information exploration activity takes you half as long as normal, typically reducing the time to an hour. If you're a master in diplomacy, I am an expert at the moment, you gather information at the normal speed. When you attempt to do so and roll critical failure, you get a failure instead. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, so you can do it pretty fast then. All right, so Xander hops off with a chipper smile and a sash and sachets. And with
my beret on, completely inconspicuous.
While Xander's off doing that, Brenros going to Sildren. What are we doing with all of these horses now? Do we keep them and board them all this time?
Yeah, we need to find and stable them, and perhaps once we have achieved our task and we can not worry so much about time, perhaps we sell the extra mounts. Perhaps we can bargain with them for information at some point. They're not essential once we've accomplished what we came to do.
Well, you have a deep spirit for these beasts of burden, so I will leave the decision to you then.
As long as they are treated well, I'm fine with using them as necessary. Yeah.
Right.
You really love these horses. Whoa, dang on. I'm a bird guy. That's fine. They're good.
I do.
There's a caravanish staging area just outside of town on the water section, and it's got like some wooden ropes and pulleys to lower goods down from the plateau down. There's a stable section. There's not a lot of horses, but they can absolutely take it. It'll take 9 silver, 1 silver per horse, and they will hold them though for a whole week if necessary. So that's totally taken care of.
Yeah, Sildren will take the horses there, and he'll just pay a gold for it. He'll tip the guy a silver.
Xander, make a society roll as you're spending about an hour going around different locations and merchants and people asking for what in particular?
I'm trying to kind of see if there is a bit of a black market or a magic items market that's on the down low. Mostly I'm trying to find a merchant who would be in the market of selling and buying certain things, like a guy named Darice who would be up for mystical or magical items that could or could not be cursed or blessed. In the same way that he was trying to sell dream catchers to Barretto and possibly buy cursed chalices from Tavernary.
Okay, make a society roll.
Yeah! Oh! Natural 20!
And here it is.
Well, let me just delete whole sections of plot-related stuff. Holy cow!
Oh, what's this cup on the ground? Is this it?
Picks up the cup.
It was just buried in the sand and in the salt here.
God.
These dice rolls.
Some guy opens his trench coat. I got a lot of chalices here, man. What do you need?
That one. I'll take the jacket. Let's just make it easy.
Chose poorly. Oh, yeah, wow. All right, Xander, you ask around. You get no luck whatsoever. This is a very obscure person in a very transient community, but someone you run into, some merchant says, oh yeah, I know Doris, he hangs out at the wine tent all the time. And you run into your friends and drag them over to the wine tent here in town. You guys go into this tent. It is it's the prettiest looking tent because it's got to attract people, so it's got different colors and thin little tapestries hanging from different spots, but it's all mishmashed. It makes no sense. There's no theme. It's just gaudy, trying to make people forget the terrible sight just outside the tent of this town. You go inside, there's benches, some very thin, misshapen tables, and there's one table in the corner where they have different jugs of wine and some wooden cups. You don't see any fine liqueur or any beer or ale. They just serve different types of wine. You can see in here there are different travelers, some gruff folks, some well-worn folks, some that look like yourself, so you fit in a little bit more. You see some half-elves and some people from Navarre here on their way doing whatever trade, so it's kind of a focal point, and you guys waltz in. And Brenros, this is the first time you don't feel completely out of sorts, because you can see there are some other people armed for their guard duties or what have you on the road.
Three people tugging on a sash that they don't even like anymore.
Yeah.
Very, very small thing for me, but kind of important for me just to visualize. Is the floor this kind of like heavy slush of like salt and mud and earth?
Yeah, and you can see that they've dug up earth and like regular earth, and they pour it on here to make it look kind of nice, but then that just gets trudged around and more white starts appearing as the day goes on. Okay. But yeah, out on the tent area, there's just white everywhere. You know there's going to be a lot of armor and shield and sword maintenance tonight. This is just not a long-term place for your weapons and gear.
Lose an AC a month. Okay.
The tent, is there like an opening in the, quote unquote ceiling of it anywhere, and like, the center post or anything like that?
Sure.
Okay. Because that's where Yathane has kind of perched herself, and she's, not visible, but kind of close by, and making sure that, she can fit through that
Okay.
hole in a pinch, ready to drop down.
Got it. All right. What do you guys want to do or say or what have you?
So Xander will work his way in, looking for any information that he was given about this place to locate Doris. He'll do the customary greeting as he goes and start talking to what looks like the host or the patron.
There is a Thavian guy with the slightly reddish skin who's looks like a bad back and kind of hunkered over, and he says, "Oh, welcome. What would you like? The good stuff or the regular stuff?"
Well, thank you so much for offering. I would like to make sure that you are doing as well as possible while you're in here.
You're very loud. We like it a little quieter.
I will bring it down as much as I can.
Oh.
Taking damage.
Sonic damage. We'll go ahead and take a glass each. Yeah, a glass each of your
We don't
best.
have glasses. We have cups.
I apologize. I will be happy.
Silo cups.
The red ones? Those are everything
I'll write
is
your
red.
name on it.
This is the best place I've ever had. I've never had a name with my cup on it.
Order for Gruck. Car crash. All right.
Yes, so we will each have one of your finest, and I would just like to ask around a little bit. Do you own this place? It's beautiful.
Thank you. You understand the finest we have comes at the price of a silver a cup.
Wow. Is it?
Non-negotiable.
It is absolutely worth a silver a cup. Is that what you're telling me?
He pours the wine, and you can see some weird clumpy stuff fall out. Yes.
That's gotta be bonus. Okay. I will pay for everybody in my party right here. Just these.
You hear some yo from the rest of the people in the tent. What a douche.
Yeah.
The people there, by the way, Xander, you just made a little salty.
Is that possible to make them even more salty?
He pours you some gloppy drinks and slides the cups over and takes the 3 silver.
Fantastic. I also was looking for, if he happens to be here, a fine gentleman named Doris.
He looks around. Doris is not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to pay for the other drinks that I'm about to buy. Here's a gold piece for you. Just for you.
Wow, he takes the gold and is stunned. With the not so subtle sash, beret, and now gold flashed Brenros, you see there is a large sword at his side, peace-stringed fellow who has taken a keen interest in Xander and is scooting out from his table and is trying to nonchalantly get a little closer to the action at the main serving table.
Brenros will politely intervene by just shuffling over just a bit to get a little bit in between there.
All right. He walks up to you and says, "Get out of my way. I need to talk with this little man."
Any conversations for the little man will go through me. What do you need?
You don't get it. I know you, and you're a guard. Any guards come through me, and I get a cut before you take off on any caravans.
Why don't you have a seat and we can talk later?
He does a little, I can't even do a little whistle. I am terrible. Does a whistle, and about 5 guys from his table all rise up. You see only one, the youngest of the group, undo his peace string. And your big guy next to you says, "You're new in town, so I'll hold off on the beating and give you a chance to step aside and make sure I get my cut. You!" And he points at Xander behind you, Brenros.
Oh, hey!
This one seems to think a cut belongs to him from you.
How nice of him! Hang on just a second. What's your name?
My name is Clave. What's yours?
Clave, I'm Xander.
I don't care.
Oh,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
what's gonna happen. You've got your little merchant trade stuff going on, and what happens is any guards, whether you bring them yourself or you take them, go through me. And if you're gonna use this man, you gotta pay me. Is that one a guard too? Pointing to the curious-looking druid next to you.
That's a chef. No, he works with berries and roots. Guard. That's hilarious. I want to tell you something real quick. What's your name again? Glaive?
Clave.
Glaive, that is a mean name. You are a fierce individual here. I will tell you that. You're probably the scariest looking guy in here, except for him, but you smell better. Here's what I'd like to do for you. I would like to make sure that you understand exactly what's going on right now, because you seem a little lost. One,
He grabs you by the throat and lifts you up off the ground.
Can't allow that.
Yeah, that's
You are in fact very strong. This is great. You're strong. But you're not Doris, and I'm only here to speak with Doris. If you can't let me go in 3 seconds, you're really, really gonna hurt.
Brenros Sildren, you see, hold on, Xander. Brenros Sildren, you also wanted to react?
I'm waiting for the 3 count.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious. serious now.
2, 1.
Hold on, says a new voice then. Yeah, a new voice calls out. A lady calls out. One of these travelers just says, hold on. And she walks over and steps over to you, Xander, steps under the arm of Clave and gets between you and him, looking at you, Xander, and then says, yeah, and turns around and says, Clave, no, this is a good one. I know this guy. Here. And she hands over a few silver to him and says, buy some drinks for your boys. Don't cause any trouble. It's too late in the day. And he glares and drops you, Xander. And
Sildren winks at the guy who had undone his peace string.
All right.
Just like gives him a little wink, like, okay, I see you.
He looks a little nervous when you do that and tries to like attach it without anyone else noticing.
Kuros puts down the non-peace stringed chair.
He steps back and does the watch yourself big finger pointing at Xander, but Clave walks away and sits back down at his table, waving for some more drinks to be brought.
Hey, Xander.
Yeah, it's fine.
Stop writing and pay attention. I'm talking to you.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you. By the way, I didn't catch your name. My name's Xander.
She's, yeah, whatever that is. I'm Ivara. So I recognize you. I saw you once. You were part of that band of soldiers who came to Bottom Hill.
Yes, I was.
I was there. I was taken captive by those terrible slavers. I was there when you came in, and I remember you, and I remember there was a dwarf, and there was a goblin. There was I think an archer, and then all chaos broke loose. I didn't see much of any at all, except for the one who really stuck in my mind, and it was your priest, Kyle, I think was his name, and he boldly called out for us to attack and to engage, and we were able to fight back, and we never saw you again. In the chaos, you all disappeared, and I never had a chance to thank you, and here you are. So this is my thanks.
Well, I appreciate it so much, and you are so welcome. I hope that you are better off here than you were being a slave up in Bottom Hill.
Yeah, well, I'm back on the road making a living and not building some stupid tower or digging out a stupid hole in the ground. That was terrible.
It was the worst, right?
Totally, completely. Let me buy you a drink. And she brings you guys over and regales you with some tales of how she was captured by the slaver. Here's some stories. She doesn't recognize you two, though, Sildren and Brenrose, because you guys weren't there.
Right.
At Bottom Hill. But she just talks about her time there and how she was able to, again, with the I think it was a pretty darn high leadership diplomacy role by Killian that inspired everyone, all the slaves, to take action. She said she fought back. She took command of them enough to get the battle won and get people enough supplies and get people the hell out of there. And it's good hearing some positive results from some of your work in the past.
Absolutely. Killian was a great man. He was a very, very solid part of our troop and our team, and I'm now with some other fantastic adventurers and travelers, and we've come farther than I've ever been from Bottom Hill or Edlin Home in search of a quest for Sir Knight here, Sir Brenrose.
It's I'm so excited. She's interrupted as the quote-unquote bartender comes over and delivers another round of drinks and says, the man you were asking for, Doris, I know just where he's at, good sir. And he pats at his pouch and smiles at you because he's very grateful for the extreme tip you gave him in his economy. You can find him in his tent down at the mud tent. He's got the larger one there.
Thank you very kindly. And
Yes.
thank you again for the drinks. It's been a pleasure to be here. Clave is a little scary.
Yeah, he's nice once you get to know him.
I'll
You
try
look
that.
over, he's still just glaring across the tent.
And he's like 3 feet away.
You guys have some drinks. She chats you up. You don't go into too much detail about what you're doing here, but she wishes you well and says she expects to be in Navarre later on this month and hopes she might run into you. You mentioned you're in Mirskan. She says hopefully she'll see you there. You tell her to meet you at the Foamy Trumpet in Mirskan, and
Super great. Great place. We're super popular there.
and what's your plan?
After the drinks go, I would say we make a not hasty getaway, but clean exit from the room without making fervent eye contact, Sildren, and or staring anyone else down, giving them a chance to follow us.
Okay. You guys leave and extricate yourself, and no one follows.
For one, I'm very grateful for your silvered tongue.
Well done, Xander. Well done.
I don't think that could have gone any better. I did worry a bit.
I was gonna zap that guy. That would have been really trouble. Man, he would have hurt.
Let's
We
keep the zapping comments.
Just paid him as well.
I'm sure. Yeah. Let's be diplomatic about it. We don't have to use magic all the time, Sildren. Gee.
No. Well, again, we need to keep a low profile if we can.
Absolutely.
So if we can buy
Taunts
ourselves
is
out of if we can buy ourselves out of trouble, then that might be the thing to do here until we're able to be at our full strength with everyone.
Sounds good to me.
To the mud tents.
Let's go zapping.
All right. You guys find an area after asking around of the mud tents. You go there. That's one of the lowest sections on this plateau, and it tends to
if I
gather
may,
some
sorry to
water.
interrupt.
Yes.
You had made mention that Brenrose had noticed the stone structures that were temple-based. As we're making our way through town, just watching kind of the comings and going, not on any particular one, but just seeing how often they're frequented and any kind of activities that might be going on.
Yeah, Sildren's passingly interested in them as well.
Make a perception roll, the two of you.
Do I have perception?
Of course you have percent.
There we go. A 21 for me.
17.
All right, Brenrose, you are able to spot not a lot of activity. You believe most of these temples are open air temples with no roofs. Some just have 3 walls constructed that way intentionally. They look some old, maybe some repurposed. You see there is normally just a single holy figure, a priest of some sort just sitting in there. There might be anywhere from 0 to 2 people that are visiting a particular temple, but there's not a lot of activity at all.
And again, nothing that can be discerned as to a particular deity here.
None that you know, but you can see there are images of, say, 2 crows together. There's an image of a big spider. There's an image of a hand that looks like it's a fist holding a bag. There's different symbols. They all mean things. There's cloth that's draped down that might flutter in the wind of maybe yellow here and orange here. So there is each one is its own thing for sure.
Okay.
But you don't know what these are.
All right.
You guys are at this tent, and Xander's there, and he's just awkwardly standing there, and he's trying to knock. He's looking for a bell. He tries to knock. He doesn't.
Do I just yell? Do I just nod? I can't just part the curtain. He could have not pants on. I don't know. What do I do?
There should be some structure there. Finding some purchase on maybe the outside of the door and giving it a good wrap.
Brenrose pulls the tent hole.
It just comes up. Who doesn't pin these down?
Brenros, you are
tumbling in the way.
Yeah, you knock with a gauntleted hand atop some frame, and you hear a woman say, yes, hold on. And the flap opens up, and there is a thin 25-year-old lady who looks barely dressed, as though you caught her just lounging around on a lazy afternoon. And Sildren, make a perception roll.
Alrighty. Much better, 31.
With a 31, nice. You can see about her lips and smell in the air. She is bright lotusing this afternoon for sure.
Hey, girl.
Like to party. She says, well, I don't know you.
This one doesn't look like a Derice to me.
You want Derice?
Yes.
He's not here.
Where is Derice?
He went on another job. He's always coming and going. I don't pay for any debt he owes.
No debt's owed here. We're actually here to help him with the job. Did he bring a cup home? Does he have like a golden chalice here?
Hold on, let me look. She closes the flap. You hear things getting moved and shifted around, and then she opens the flap back up. There's no golden cups. He had something that was important on his last job, and then he went to the temple and said there was another assignment.
You remember which temple he was at?
Yeah, it's the spider, Temple of the Spider. And I haven't seen him in a week.
A week?
You don't look like you're from around here.
With that, not answering that question, he hands 2 silver to her. Thank you for your time.
Oh, that was easy. And she takes the coins and watches confusedly as you walk away.
I'm very curious what is going on now.
She was partaking of the bright lotus.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah.
Thought I smelled something. So the Temple of the Spider. Is that familiar? Do we know that one?
Yeah.
I know it, but I've seen the symbol. A lot of these are temples, pointing out these stone structures. And this one in particular over there has the spider emblem upon it.
Renrose, make a religion roll. Make a 30 religion roll or higher.
You can do it, buddy.
This is extremely rare information in you.
Oh, 25.
Do I?
Do I? It's a 12 for your roll. Your odds are a little low to get that hero point.
Don't tell me about odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Go for it.
I
Save it.
concur.
He's spending the hero point.
I've got a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Here we go, religion.
Who's the devil? Who's the angel?
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, 13.
Better.
You got +1.
26.
All right. You don't have any information. That continues on. Yep.
All right. So the emblem of the spider. It's not much to go on, but it is solid enough for me.
Well, let us go pay our respects.
All right. Do you want me to do the talking?
It's an interesting course. I don't know.
I like Sildren's face is just kind of like,
I don't know. But it would be important to find Derice, and we seem to be hot on his trail. So, for now...
remember, little friend, incognito.
jaunty hat.
All right. You guys are pointed the way by Brenrose towards the temple on the outside of town on this ring of stone structures. This is the one that has a painted symbol of a spider on it. You approach, you can see there are 3 doors, a large one with some pillars just outside and 2 side doors. Those 2 side doors, and there's no roof on this thing at all. And the 2 side doors are completely, doorways, sorry, all 3 of these are doorways. The 2 doorways are completely covered in thick spider webs, unnaturally thick, the not normal spider webs, very strandish. The middle section though is clean and you're able to walk in. There's no one here at all except for a single priest who is draped in some simple cheap robe, and he's got a brown spider tattoo on his cheek, and he's got a little bit of a shawl that's crocheted in like a little web work type thing around his shoulder. He's reading some scroll and he rolls it up, and you can see there are some maybe 4 or 5 spiders about the size of a basketball that are on the ground that kind of skitter as you guys enter, and they skitter out of the way almost like a bundle of frightened kittens, and they disappear around corners. And he looks up from the scroll and rolls it up and says, "Hello."
Good day.
Good day.
And I'm looking for someone, and I didn't mean to interrupt your devotion.
I'm happy to have you here in the temple of the spider. How can I help?
I'm looking for someone who goes by the name of Doris.
I know of Doris.
Would you help me find him?
I can tell you he has been spending some time with Incray, a woman who has been doing a lot of work outside of town. That's when I spoke to him last. She had asked for him again in particular. She was very keen on some sort of magical tankard or cup, and he was very excited to deliver it. He delivers unusual goods. I'm assuming that's how you know him?
Yes, that is how we know of him. Giving a sideways glance to Xander. Where outside of town can we find this Encray?
I don't know, nor would I recommend you try to find her. She's gotten a little dark even for my tastes the last week or two. She's been a follower from time to time, but she's gotten a bit intense, and I recommended she find her center and find her purpose before she returns back again, as her language is much too strong for such a holy place.
This is one of the reasons we're trying to help them. We believe that the cup or the goblet that he may have grabbed for her that you just described is cursed, and it's putting everyone in grave danger. We need to find it from them and see if we can help destroy it or remove the curse.
And that would bring her center back.
Ooh, make a diplomacy roll, either one of you.
I'm gonna go with this one.
You're going to go with this one?
Natural 20 for a total of 38.
Holy
Here's another chalice.
We're just gonna let Xander basically run the show from here on out. With he keeps getting natural 20s to our 2s and 4s.
Let this be a lesson to all would-be gamers out there. Diplomacy is not a small thing.
He says, you speak to my heart. I fears I will lose her if she does not find her center. I would recommend you find her, tell her to come back. Perhaps I was a bit harsh. I know she has dealt with the flesh dealer in town, Sorichi. That's where she was last headed for her work that she had in mind. I would speak with him. He tells you where in town to find such a guy. He's just by the caravan cabling system I mentioned earlier.
And what is a flesh dealer?
He deals with the people that work hard out on the lake, the people that construct what needs to be built, the honest people. You might call them the salt of the earth.
Oh my god.
What an asshole! You've been hanging on to that for hours.
Oh god, the kid just came to me. Oh man. Sorry.
Are we also going to run into the pun of he met his lot in life or something like that? All right.
All right. Thank you so much. With your help, we hope that we can save her.
What is your name, good sir?
I am Priest Tassilius. And you are always most welcome. We have our weekly spider ceremony starting tomorrow if you are still in town.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
What is the... So Brenros is affiliated with Celine. This is clearly an offshoot of some belief. What is the founding principle for tithing or giving of coin to show support, but not for the religion itself?
You don't know. You failed your religion roll. You don't know on this.
Then he gets nothing.
Okay. He pays the price. Got it.
Xander.
He got the pleasure of talking to Xander, so, you know.
And with Xander riding off of his high diplomacy, Xander will go ahead and ask, how do we provide tribute for you and for your help?
You come tomorrow, lay upon this stone slab, and let the spiders cleanse you.
That sounds...
Xander.
Xander's like, did I roll a natural one?
It's, okay. Thank you.
And he approaches you with extended fingers and just says, cleansing, cleansing.
Cleansing! I get it! I got it! Cleansing. Great to meet you.
This was totally out of character. Don't do this, please, for the love of God. But it would be hilarious if you changed into a spider.
What's funny is Sildren has a spell right now called Spider Climb, and it creates these
you guys
black,
got a
sticky,
couple
Yeah.
And then Sir Bremros, of course, can just turn around and accidentally go squish. Oh, so sorry.
Oh, sorry. Natural 20, natural.
You guys head out.
Yeah.
What's next?
Heading towards Sorichi in search for Encre.
All right.
Yeah.
You head to the flesh dealer's place. It is a bunkhouse that's the most stable structure you've seen, made of some still ramshackle wooden walls that look like it'd fall over if a stiff breeze came by. But inside are a bunch of bunks for workers, and there is a bored-looking, sweaty guy with no shirt on who is outside, and he sees you coming, and you've got your nice little sash on, and he recognizes that as someone who's got a little bit of cash, so he stands up, snaps, and out comes a young guy with no shirt on and a little headband to keep the sweat off, who's got some big muscles, who kind of stands nearby the door looking healthy and strong. And your guy here, Sorichi, says, it's early evening, and I'm good to see you.
And to you, it's a pleasure to see you and meet you all. We were sent over from the priest of the Temple of the Spider. We understand that you know a young lady named Encre.
I wouldn't call her young, but yes, I do. She sends you my way. She's told you about my good workers.
In fact, we've heard a lot about your good workers, that you are the flesh dealer of all of the hardest workers on Sarvide. Is that correct?
I'm the one. She's almost bled me dry, but I do have this one here. He can carry a heavy load. He doesn't talk much. As a matter of fact, I don't think you've said anything, have you? Good. And he is yours for 10 gold.
I really appreciate that, and thank you so much for the offer. Your prices are actually exceptionally low, but this is not what we're here for. You can work with him at another time. At this point, we're actually just trying to locate Ancre. She is no longer where she was, and we need to see her.
I'm not sure how that helps me offload this guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not to offload him, but let me work with you in this case. How about you go ahead and keep him for the next merchant, but just take 2 gold for now to hang on to him in case we need him later. Can we do that?
That can be arranged, yes.
All right. While we're going over
I may
this,
interrupt, putting a hand on Xander and leaning down to whisper to him, rather. This would be slavery, would it not?
yes, if we bought him. What we're instead doing.
This is layaway slavery.
Layaway slavery.
It's called layaway.
Not buy him.
Slayaway.
Slave away.
I could not condone this. You would have to convince me. I don't see giving this man any money to support his endeavors helps anyone.
So let me. This is a great point, Sir Burns, and Xander just kind of pulls him aside real quick, and just
Another sidebar.
Sidebar. So, I understand completely where you're coming from. What do you believe that young man who hasn't been speaking would do if he weren't a slave? What would he do?
Are you saying it's his destiny to be a slave?
Not at all.
This is
No,
our sidebar.
I'm actually.
All his race, if you think about it.
No.
My offer is not that he is supposed to stay here or that he's destined to do this. But if we have an option for him that would be a better life, which could be virtually anything than being a slave, then I think we should find a way to provide that for him. But if anything that we provide is not better than what he currently has, it's a hard life, but he's fed. He's well, he's in this house. He has
is
cover.
Better than slavery, regardless.
Coin goes to the hands that would enslave more people.
So if I pay the guy the coins and don't take the slave, that's bad.
Then he
But
has
if
a
I-
coin in his hand. No, we're almost done talking here.
So do you suggest that we end the slavery?
And Sir Brenrose, does the chalice,
Peace string's coming off, folks.
yeah, does the need for us to acquire the chalice outweigh the imperative to free this person at the moment?
Fair point. Some evils cannot always be dealt with.
And perhaps we swing back by and slit his throat later. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Almost done. Just another.
I will bide my time, but no, I don't agree with it.
I remember
Or the
how we
queen.
met. We met by you killing that last slaver. This is clearly important to you.
Well, hopefully the voice is down.
But I don't disagree with you. You're not wrong. But I do want to make sure that we do with one thing at a time.
Brenrose walks a little bit down where we came from and stands guard further away.
Okay.
Xander's a little bit more conflicted, where he was kind of goal-oriented before. Now he has to deal with morals again. And we'll go back and kind of approach Sarichi.
And as he's walking back, Sildren, do what must be done for us to accomplish our goal. We can deal with these matters in another way at another time.
Okay.
Yeah, you thought it was just going to be easy. You're tossing your natural 20s.
Sorichi, thanks so much again for your time. I need to double check with you on something. First, I owe you 2 gold. We spoke about this. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's do this. How about you hang on to 1 gold for me right now?
What happened to 2?
You're gonna get it, but I need your help with something. I'm not here for your boy, though as strong though he looks. I'm here to see Ancre. I need to see Ancre. We came a very long ways for this, and I think you can help me get to her. I'm gonna give you 1 more gold now for the information for where Ancre is. And then we can come back, and we'll negotiate getting this guy off your hands.
Let's do this. I'll do 8 gold. You'll get this strapping young lad, and I'll give you all the information you need about Incray, and you might be able to get some of her workers from her, because she's got my best.
I certainly understand that. And workers are not something I'm in strong need of, as
Excellent.
you can see.
8 gold, so 7 more.
It's actually just 1 gold I'm holding right now. That's yours that you've got. And with just 2 gold, you can just tell me where Ancre
Find
is.
the slave. Here's the slave. All right.
I'm going to give you a total of 3 gold. You get to keep your slave and the 3 gold when you get to me to where Ancre's information is. I think that's the best deal we could possibly work out. You're not losing anything. You're gaining a lot of money, and I get the information that I need. I don't think this needs to be too hard.
Make a diplomacy roll, Xander. Add +1.
28.
28. This guy is a skilled trader, but he's not that skilled, and says, "You've got yourself a deal." Yes.
All right.
You give him a total of 3 gold. A sad young man lowers his head and goes back into the hot bunkhouse. And Sorichi says, "So Incre, you're looking for her. She's got some sort of operation going at the City of Thrones. It's in the hills to the west." And he digs in the salt with a stick and draws a crude map. It's just a couple hours riding through the hills. You have to make sure you stay clear of the cliff here, and you've gone too far, and then you can find the city there. She took me out last week with 38 workers herself. You should be easily able to follow the tracks.
Sounds excellent. You, sir, I'm sure we are going to see you again very soon.
Good, I hope so. Good business.
And you, thank you. Xander turns, walks back
Yeah,
to
so it's just
Brenner.
like, see you soon.
Xander he used his iPhone to take a picture of the map on the ground, I think, and then
No magic.
magic. So it explains where the map is, and let's get the horses and go find our chalice.
Okay, you guys grab all 9 of your horses and head off west for a couple hours ride.
Do we just want to grab 3 of them?
You know better than I am. You're the horse guy.
Let's just take the 3. 1 each for now.
Okay. You guys mount up on your horses, leave the rest behind at the stable, and head out west, and let's take our break there. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Greetings, friends. It's your roguishly handsome elven hunter Idrisil here. Looking for more quests outside our regular adventures? Join us on patreon.com/ingloriousbards. Gain access to character creations, after-show chats, leveling up shows, even downloadable maps and character sheets that you can play along with the heroes. Go to patreon.com/ingloriousbards today.
All right. You are heading out west on your horses and making your way out of the town of Sarvi, down the little dirt ramp into the very low, salty, I use the word lake too generously. It's just a very wide, long, extremely shallow pool, if you will, and head out west. Following the directions that were given to Xander, you ride out across these dusty hills. You enter very soon a different environment that is less cracked earth and more sand. You find yourself riding past very few shrubs, and now it's dunes that you are riding through, and the horses are trudging their way along these dunes, leaving behind them those pits of footsteps behind, and sometimes they struggle, but they get up the dune. There's a rough road. You can see more of markers, stone little markers that make a path heading in this direction that you don't think many people take. You can see there's some old marks where there's some slight stone that used to be a road that you can barely even follow, but you just see it from time to time. You do see there's some wagon paths that are down there, and you make your way west for several hours looking for this City of Thrones. You haven't heard of this place. You have heard of the town of Sarvide and can't imagine the economical differences between such places. And as you approach, you see why, as the City of Thrones is exactly where Xander is shown, and it is a town of ruins that is buried by sand. You see the tops of spires that are 40, 50 feet tall, and you're just seeing the last 5 feet sticking out of sand as you're on this orange, endless dunes as far as you can see. You see another spire off in the distance, and you're just riding on top of a buried city. The sand dune drops a bit, and now you can see there is a tent that's perched with a fire going on top of the roof of, say, a third-story building that you can just barely see the top of. Just a couple inches are exposed in sand, and someone set up a tent there with a fire, and you can see some other sporadic buildings just jutting out. Farther away, like 3 or 4 buildings away, you can see there's some scaffolding and wagons set up, and everything's very scattered and very quiet, and just a breeze with sand coming by is the only motion and sense of life here at all.
So the tents that we see, we don't see anyone at them? They're just set up there?
Correct. No, you do see there are some people at the tents. There's a tents. Yes, there are people there.
And keep in mind, I doubt Incray is going to be very interested in returning this chalice to us. She seems to have already been corrupted by it, so be prepared.
Well, let's see what can be done here.
Where would you like to head?
Probably to the closest run of tents.
Okay. You head over to this flattish structure that's the roof of an old building that they're using as the floor to put their tents on. And you ride up. You see there are 2 people that are just lounging around in some makeshift chairs, and they look just hot and sweaty as you ride up. And one of them just nods as you approach.
Excuse me. And giving the customary greetings, or the other way. Would you happen to know where we could find a Doris?
Incray.
Incray.
Oh, Incray. I assumed Doris might be here, but Incray.
The guy standing next to you says, he nods further on and says, she's at the crevasse.
Start riding in that direction.
All right.
Oh, I have questions. What's the crevasse?
you head off. Too late.
The crevasse is a monster, legendary level, blah, blah, blah. All right.
You head off and ride and continue on some dunes past some old buildings again.
As we're going, is there any building, tent, structure that appears nicer than the others? Something that would maybe indicate that it belongs to Incray?
You keep your eyes open. You don't see any other tents other than the ones you just walked past. There's just another place where there's scaffolding and wagons. You pass another place that has some barrels that have been put outside but haven't gathered a lot of sand, so you know they haven't been here too long. And you keep making your way in the direction he nodded.
Xander, if you can maybe subtly detect magic, perhaps we can find this chalice without ever having to speak to Incray if it's around.
Xander is going to do just that. Just want to make sure at the way that he's doing it. Yep. So Xander's going to start detecting magic and seeing what he can find.
All right, there is these buildings. You imagine beneath you are plenty of buildings, but they are buried under feet and feet and feet and feet of sand, and you're just seeing the tops of the highest part of this old city. So there's nothing around you for a while, and you might kind of angle towards the top of something, and you will maybe do some detect magic there, but then there's nothing for another while. You just keep riding. Just little spots, pinnacles of buildings. And you carry on. You ride west until you come to 3 towers, really just the tops again that stick out, and they have doorways with balconies, and the balconies have been smashed down so you can get into the doorway, and you can see there are a lot of wagons outside these 3 towers. There are some people coming and going, loading stuff into wagons. They look similar to that young man slave that you were just negotiating with a few hours earlier back in Sarvide. You can see just beyond is a huge cliff face crevasse. You ride kind of close in that direction with Xander doing detect magic, and you can see the sand descends and heads towards this crevasse. You don't get too close, but you can look down and see there's a span, and it's a wide span, maybe 130 feet wide, of this big crevasse, like a giant cut, almost like a giant lightning bolt just cut through this entire area and cracked open the stone, and you can see smooth rock on the far side, and it's pockmarked with holes, like a volcanic area where the rock has been worn away, Swiss cheese type of environment that you can see. And these rock holes have workers down in them. So they're 130 feet away, and then maybe they're 30 feet down. You can see them walking, and there's space beyond those holes. And you can see occasionally a balcony where the city has existed and been cut, maybe a lower part, underground part of the city that is now exposed by this crevasse, and they are on there. You can see that this crevasse starts not too far away and rises up a bit on a hill to your right, and it is a smooth floor, almost a glassy floor. It's a little bumpy, but it just goes down and down and down, and you can, as you look down, you can see there's a ton of workers, at least 30, 40, 50 workers that are shoveling tons of sand. There are carts that are being unloaded, dumped down into this glassy path, if you will, and the sand falls 30, 40, 50 feet, hits it, and just starts rolling down and rolling, and it just keeps going as far as you can see, this giant long crevasse. Workers are shoveling sand in. There's a whole lot of commotion and activity. It's relatively quiet, though. You don't hear a lot of orders being barked, a lot of commotion or some sort of foreman yelling or screaming. And make perception rolls, the lot of you.
Yay!
21 for Brenros.
20 for Xander.
And 29 for Sildren.
Whoa, all right. Sildren, the perceptive one, you can hear some strange chanting. A monotonous drone-ish chanting, and can see several, at least a dozen or more figures, probably 24 figures, dressed in purplish robes with hoods over that are just slowly trudging through. You can see them again far away, lower down. They are within this network of caves and structures in this Swiss cheese rock underneath the sand. And you can just see them every so often walking past, or another one over on this side. So again, you're on the near side with these three towers that have giant openings, which were essentially balconies before, but are now ground level openings. You can see workers going in and they start taking stairs down. You imagine beneath you is more structure and stuff. And then on the other side of this crevasse, 130 feet, are more structure bits, and then the Swiss cheese sections in this rock. And you can still see people moving around. You can't imagine how many people are here right now.
So watching the procession of the robed people and trying to hear, kind of pick out their voices, and watching them, is there any way to tell if any of that, like if there's a female amongst them, kind of trying to find out if Incray is maybe part of this group?
Make a whole separate perception roll.
Yeah, 22.
22, you see you can't make them out at all. They've got hoods on. You can't make heads or tails out of anyone. They're all different shapes and sizes, and they're slow moving. And they've got a different vibe than the workers. The workers are busy silently shoveling tons of sand, dropping rocks, and then you just have this group of people moving around. There doesn't seem to be much order to the robed folks, but that you do. 21. You do hear
22.
You do hear a phrase mentioned within their chant. It appears to just be more of a drone that's reassuring for whatever they're trying to do, but some words emphasize or come out every now and again, and that is the tasting of water, the tasting of the flesh. And it's just, tasting water, that kind of drone that echoes through. And then just the constant, almost rain-like sound of shovels and carts of sand falling down and then hitting this glassy slope that just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
Okay. Perhaps if we stow the horses at a safe place and head down into this crevasse.
Is there a safe way to go down?
I assume there is. Is there a safe way to get down into the crevasse? I mean, there's like a slope.
Right?
Yeah, right now you're at the safest part of the sand. It's a bit of a ridge, and then it goes down maybe 20, 30 feet, and then you can see little bits of sand drifting off, and you're imagining falling quite some distance down into the cut. It does not look safe at all.
So there's no clear way on how people are getting down here?
There's the walkways that are...
Okay.
The balcony
towers.
is the only
Right.
Towers.
This seems to be the only way.
We could try to search around up here for a little bit to see if we can find the chalice, but it would be probably assumed that it's going to be down in that crevasse somewhere, and those purple road figures are probably tied to it.
The two we spoke to earlier, they seemed all too ready to point out where Incray was. Perhaps we can ask a little bit closer, get a better understanding of where exactly she is in this cacophony of madness.
Sir Brandros, do you have any idea if the chalice would have any powers here? Do you think it would actually be connected to the hooded rope figures, or is it just something that's bad? It's not super powerful, right?
The actual relic itself I'm not entirely familiar with, but I do know that those who drink of it do succumb to the darker side of themselves. It would have some magic to it.
There is power to that relic. It was kept safe by the king and queen of what is it, Navarre?
Calaviaire.
Calaviaire.
Queen
of Calaviaire. I've been sent a vision from Keth in regard to this. It is not to be undervalued in its strength and magical power. It is definitely dangerous in the extreme, I would believe.
And for
Okay.
anyone to drink of it, that even compounds it more.
Well, that sounds bad. Let's go get it. Xander will. Let me tell you what idea is. I'm not just gonna take off. If we stop our horses here and
That's
go to
a
the
first.
towers, I was gonna maybe see if I can find anything in the towers around them. I can detect magic around there, see if there's something there, and then if we can't find anything, maybe we'll go down while we find out where Ancre may be.
We've relied a lot on you and would continue to do so. So if you think you can find it.
I'm gonna try.
And if we can find it without confronting Incray, so much the better. Find it, destroy it, and be on our way before anybody's the wiser. Because that plan's gonna work.
He can hear you.
No one
What you
knows I'm
doing?
here.
All right, so are we gonna dismount from the horses then, or just head straight to the
it's-
towers?
I imagine, yeah, we have to get inside. Well, we,
Yeah, we'll put the horses in an out-of-the-way place,
Okay.
as such a thing exists.
Yeah.
But close by so we can get up and, because just in case we're running for our lives at the time, it would be good to be able to get out quickly.
Okay.
Go graze on the sand.
Yeah.
Xander will head to the closest tower and, again, subtly like before, try to start detecting magic.
All right. You approach the tower again. The balcony of this very tall tower, which is now ground level, has been destroyed and kicked out of the way. Several of these slave workers walk past, push their way. They don't pay you much mind as you head in and make a stealth roll, Xander, for overall magic stealthy. It's okay if you kind of fail. Just
It's
don't
a-
really want to fail.
17. So not a super great roll.
Good with that?
Yeah, I'll go with 17.
Okay, you're dead.
Oh God!
All right, you're just doing some quiet, no, and some people are might look in your direction, but they don't really care. It's just a little creepily quiet in here, and you're in the tower, but you detect no magic, and you can hear footsteps trudging up and down, and can again see at least 5 or 6 people coming up and down the stairs of this one tower alone.
Okay, but like, how can I see how far down the stairs go? Like how far this is?
Yeah, it goes down 6 floors, and there's at least stops at each floor. There's light, and the light is provided by some occasional torches and some by magic continual light as well.
Ah, okay.
So
Does
you do
no one-
detect a little bit of magic.
Does no one pay any mind to our being there?
No one pays you any mind. These slaves don't particularly care and are going about their business.
I would tap the shoulder of one.
All right.
Take his work of it.
He stops. He's got some picks, and he stops and turns around and looks at you.
Where is Encray?
He says, across the span, across the span.
And how do we get there?
Down. And he scurries away.
You get one question per.
Down to the next level.
Yeah. Well, that's as close as we're going to get to some quick information. I suggest we go down and then across. Holy hell!
Sildren, nice job.
Disregard that.
He's screwing around with his dice.
Okay, so we'll keep heading down. Xander leads the way, detecting magic as he goes.
All right. Xander, you detect these magic lights from time to time, and then you isolate those out, and then you don't detect anything else. You guys go down a bit, and after a couple floors, you come into an open gallery that has some columns on inside, but one wall is entirely missing. And that wall opens up into the crevasse. So you have light, bright light spilling in from there. and you can see the 120 feet away, the other side where there's more workers and more of those holes and action going on. You can see there's also some workers above you on your level that are shoveling off sand. So every so often there's just golden sand that just rains down, almost like a little curtain beyond this wall. You look around and can see there's some small little corridors in this old place, and that head into different directions, and can see a span, a bridge of stone that crosses the crevasse kind of back the direction you came a bit, and you start making your way there. As you do so, Sildren happens to be first, and you run smack into a purple-robed person, and as soon as you run into them, that person almost hisses at you and steps back, reaches forward and touches your arm and is going to burn your hand. Make a fortitude save. You just need a 22.
Okay. Fortitude save will be an 18.
All right.
Oh,
you
no.
take 10 points of evil damage as it burns you, and this person says, address yourself. What are you doing here?
Is this person alone?
This person is alone.
Would the burned one care to speak first?
We are here to see Incray on an important matter, and this will not go unpunished.
Wow. Added intimidation. Do you want to wiggle an eyebrow at it?
Make an intimidation roll +1.
All right. Good, because I only have a +1.
Oh, great.
That's all right. 19 total.
Whoa!
Wow.
19.
Not too bad.
This person says, no one disturbs Incray. He is slapped and then holds out some hands, and grayish energy wafts across all of you, and all of you need to make fortitude saves as you are blasted with evil energy.
Ah!
I don't like the waft.
Xander rolls a 25.
21.
31.
And what did I say? It was a 22?
I don't know.
I'm going to say 21, I think.
I'm
is
going to
what
say it was at least a
Is it
22.
21? Over 21? Come on.
Xander, you take 8 points of damage.
Ow!
Sildren, you take 16, and Brenros, you take 8 points of evil damage as he lashes out with this dark, evil magic and says, die, you must die! You are defiling this place! You will not drink! What would you like to do?
I hope he says that in character. What would you like to do?
Did she say die? She said die, right? You will die. You cannot drink.
This
What?
What?
That's what I heard. I heard her say you will die. Is that right?
All right, all of you make fortitude saving throws as he casts again this black magic.
27.
19.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, you rolled a
Hold on.
2 for a total of 16. Are you gonna hero point that?
I'm keeping that.
All right. Xander, you take 9 points of evil damage. Sildren Brenros, you take full 19 points of evil damage as your skin burns and starts to almost look like it's aging or dry and just painful, and you wince back.
That does it. Xander grabs his staff and points it out and casts acid arrow.
Okay.
Runros will charge in and draw his weapon as well.
All right.
24 is the attack.
24 hits. What's your damage? Brenros, you can make a sword strike as well.
All right.
17 points of acid damage.
There's a 35 to hit.
All right, 17 points of acid damage, burns and starts sizzling away at this person who just howls and is burning and squealing, and turns around to start casting again, and Sir Brenros lops off his head.
Whoa! Nice.
Well, he was talking too much.
Indeed. Is there a place where we can? Soldern immediately starts looking for a place to stow the body, where
Out in the middle of the open.
Yeah, it would be kind of out of the way.
There are strange alcoves and nooks, and while there's been a lot of traffic, once there was any kind of disagreement or quote-unquote punishment, any slaves within a 2-floor radius quickly found themselves elsewhere. So yes, you find a strange gallery. There's a bunch of urns, and you're able to drag the body there. There's a big bloody trail that you can't quite get rid of, but yes.
Can I prestidigitation it away?
It'll take some time. There's quite a bit of...
There is also quite a bit of sand.
Yeah.
Just
Cover it up with some sand, just kick it around, dry it up.
All right.
No one notice.
You start doing some old sawdust trick from the Civil War days.
I will also cast upon myself. I'm going to use my staff of healing probably multiple times here, because I have 45 hit points of damage. So let's see.
I can assist you as well.
12. Okay, well, assist away, my friend.
Lay on of hands.
Every 10 minutes, I can yield 24 points of damage.
So 24 and 12 is 36, 36, 40. So I have 9. Okay, I'm good. I'm down to 9 hit points of damage. Is everybody else okay? How we doing?
I got hit
Guys,
for
we good?
17. I'm a little singy.
Why the sudden concern for our health?
Well, I mean, I have gaseous form and I can get out of here, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm the lodestone. I go down and then that's about it.
Okay, so
Xander's at 75% of his health.
okay, so staff of healing for
Following
you,
the next 10
Xander.
minutes, if it's a minute,
That's
I'll do
going to
another lay
be
on hands.
10 more points of damage healed, and then my final staff of healing spell will be 15.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Xander's up to
15
4.
more. Okay, perfect.
Cheers.
Right.
And the purple robe, how bloody and damaged is the purple robe?
It's pretty
very clean.
bad.
Okay.
You can put some
it stops
sand on
here.
it. There's no hood.
It's a two-piece.
I'm just gonna put the hood over it. No, all right, we'll leave that alone. So,
Xander's immediately thinking, what would Iggy do? And wants to check for any rings or pockets, or see if there's any items or anything on the purple robe other than the robe
would
itself.
loot the body.
Yes, you can see there is a medallion. It's a small circular medallion that was around the neck, so it's very easy to remove. And it's a circular medallion, but inside is the shape of a spider.
Xander will grab it.
All right, looks like it's goldenish and worth some coins for sure.
Okay.
Let's continue on.
It seemed... Did the other slaves, do they have a similar mark at all?
No.
Identifying them or anything like that?
No.
I mean, we're dressed very differently than the other slaves, I assume.
I was wondering, it's true, he did acknowledge you, but he didn't second guess that action to hurt you.
Well, the damage, I sensed it was of an evil nature, so I would not expect them to be particularly reserved in their doling out of punishments.
Always listen to the druid. Very well.
All right, you guys carry on. You work your way through some corridors and can see your corridor ends in a span of stone that has been constructed relatively recently, you think, in the last few months. That spans this crevasse. Again, the sand is being shoveled and poured down on either side of it by 30, 40 workers that are on either side of this crevasse. This span goes across and heads to the other side, which again is dotted and pockmarked with some windows or openings. You can see it's actually heading into a cutaway damaged section of a longish tower, the base of which, that you're making your way to. You make sure there's no sand being poured on you guys, or Bernros has a shield. And as you guys walk across, you can see some markings in this tower of a star being pierced by a sword from above as you walk in.
Seems to be a reoccurring theme. We keep running into this symbol.
The Star of Scourgeonar.
Never does it seem to lead to any good.
Old symbol, but every time we see it, there seems to be undead everywhere all the time.
But no undead here. Not yet, anyway.
Yet. Let us proceed.
You guys proceed. You head into this lower section. You can sense magic, Xander, that you cannot identify. You are within 30 feet of magic. You can also see there is a pool of water. It is bluish water that is on this floor, and there are two purple-robed people kneeling over it and just shoveling the water into their mouth and face with their hands, just repeatedly.
Real quick, because I am detecting magic and I'm a little bit higher up, can I know what type of school the magic is from?
Yes, you can. That is your new ability. You detect the school as being from necromancy.
Whoa! You guys! That's necromancy magic! It gives me the heebie-jeebies!
So looking in, the two purple robe figures have not noticed us yet.
They've not noticed you. You can see there's some strange cryptic writing carved into the wall here, and just beyond that are some wide stairs that head up further in this tower. There's also two different side passages that lead further on into the quote-unquote city to other areas as well.
And is there a source of this water somewhere that we can tell?
You look around and you can see there is a hole in the ceiling where there is rapid drips of this blue water into this pool.
How big is the hole?
Like no, like 6 inches.
Oh, so it's a small, like, singular drip.
Yeah.
And is there a passageway in that, like, going through and then that goes back up?
There's stairs on the far side, and there are passages off, 2 passages off that lead to other places within this underground.
And the stairs go up?
Correct.
The source of that water may be what we're seeking. Let's maybe dispatch these 2 on the quick. Or can we get to the stairs without alerting these guys, do we think?
I don't know.
I'm willing to try!
Let's move very slowly, get to the stairs and move up. And if they 2 figures there so much as twitch, we kill them. What do you think of that plan?
I'm okay with it. I was kind of wondering if I could plug the hole somehow, but I think that would draw attention to us. So let's do your thing.
They're
Brenros?
practices of the unlife. As long as they remain on this side of the living, I will not be as free with my blade. We'll do what's necessary. If we need to sneak past, then we'll sneak past.
Well, let us try. And Sildren will lead the way stealthily towards these stairs.
Okay. Everyone makes stealth rolls. We'll take the best 2 of the 3.
And like, I don't know if I can prepare an action, but basically, sword and shield is. I assume these guys are pretty close.
What guy?
Ooh.
The purple guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brenros in heavy armor is clanking around happily.
This natural one, yeah.
Oh,
Xander
screw
rolls-
this! I just charged the purple guys.
Okay, just terrible rolls across the board. Natural 1, a 16, and a 19. All right. So Sir Brenros is just loud as all heck, and
Squeak
you're
clank.
Almost sarcastic in this. Oh yeah, sure. I won't get there.
you charge these guys. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that we have left to do at this point.
All right. What are you doing?
Sword in hand, I start stabbing.
Stabbing with the rapier. Make 3 rapier attacks plus 3.
All right, fantastic.
Brenros, you do anything? Or are you watching the chaos?
I'm watching the carnage. I can't. I won't start from behind.
Jesus.
That's not what I hear.
You said plus 3, so it's going to be a 19, a 25, and a 20.
All right, you get 2 hits. Your
All
first swing, oddly enough, the most surprised one, misses. You look in his eyes as he turns around and hesitate.
So I'm going to do a massive 5 points of damage.
5
with that.
points. Oh, what? That's uncomfortable. You stab twice. You turn behind you and see Brenros is doing nothing. Xander, are you watching as well?
Nope, burning hands.
All right, let's say that happened first for Sildren's sake.
Yeah, let's please say that.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, just let me get him.
I hope the blue water's not.
So they have their backs turned to me, but I will grant them a reflex save because I'm fancy.
They will automatically fail. You have
Fantastic!
them by total surprise.
Ooh.
20 points of flame damage.
All right. So what that means is, Sildren, you twice stabbed an already dead guy. Is what
He had
happened.
it coming. He had it coming.
You
knows
burned
what he
these
did.
guys alive. One of them just died. He's barely hanging in there. He's just got a little bit. He's got like 5 hit points left. When Sildren comes up, he stabs him once. The guy's still on fire and says, "If only there was a pool of liquid nearby to extinguish." And then he's stabbed again and dies.
Is there an alcove where we can stow these bodies?
You start looking around.
There's a pool.
Yeah, I mean, like tossing them in the pool. Is that?
I mean, that could bring him back. We don't know what that fool does.
That's true.
What do you want to do? Brenros, you do see something of interest. You see on the wall next to you that you were walking past, getting to the stairs, you see a strange script carved into the wall that you cannot recognize. You then see the chaos of your friends and shake your head. You look back at the wall, and the script has taken form and looks to be of the old Byzrin language. But I can't recall if you know that one or not, but you're able to recognize the language itself.
Isn't Xander?
Xander does.
Old
Xander
Byron
speaks it and can read it.
It's a language I understand.
Okay. You do see that the words start to take shape magically, and it says the following. It says, Scoriel Passage Number 1. Bring yourself down this path we leave behind for those of noble spirit, and this path we hide from those with dark intentions. The fallen hero Scourgeonar cannot be allowed to return, or he will lay waste to everything he sees. Only close adherence to these steps will prevent the destruction of Varen. He was stopped once before, and if you are seeking out these words, then you must stop him once again. Your final trek begins at his resting place, the grand city that looks out over the Bay of 5 Sins. That is the message that you see, and I'm going to paste that into the chat window for you players so you don't have to type that in at yours.
Oh, man. That's the name Scourgeonar again.
Oh, you read this too?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is there's a long story behind all this, but we encountered a big fight at the end of Tabernarie. There was a guy, Scourgeonard, there was a coffin that was brought out, and something was resurrected. He disappeared and vanished. Then we found the Tower of Scorio, which has the same symbol, by the way, the star with the heart. And that's where we found a lot of the undead the first time, but we didn't think that anyone would come back. We were looking for Raidith, and it's a lot going on. I don't have time for this. This is bad. Where's the band?
Do we have time for this?
All right, message has been pasted. That's what you see. And what were you doing with the bodies?
Hiding them?
Where?
Anywhere?
You wedge them into a corner.
Did you want to try putting it in the pool, or is that bad? That seems bad.
Well,
Necromancy magic.
You have benefit of magic, and if you're talking about stuff coming back, if we dump it in the pool, then I'm not going to bother with that. So it's all your fault we're not using the pool.
Okay, we're not using the pool.
Is this pool deep? Is it flowing water? Is there, never mind. The pool idea is just such a horrible idea to stuff them in.
Are there catacombs or little, I guess it'd be catacomb, little, those little arched ways where they place the dead kind of thing?
There are those side passages I mentioned and then the stairs are the three exits out. There are no other alcoves that you see here.
Quickly glance down the side passages.
You see two slaves who see you about 50 feet away, who then scurry out of view.
Okay.
Yeah, put it there. Right there's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess find the most out of the way place we can to stuff them, and then I guess go up the stairs.
Start posing them.
Yeah.
Make them seem like they killed each other.
Right.
I'm trying to see. I've got prestidigitation. I was trying to see if there's anything I have that could disguise them a bit, but I really don't have any special illusion-y, disguisey stuff.
The only thing that seems to disguise them are these robes, and Brenros will quickly slash and cut the robes away from both of them.
Okay. You disrobe them, and
I'd also check for necklaces, rings, and/or golden pockets.
They also have the same medallion with the spider, golden spider.
I will collect both of those. Iggy would like one. Chicks may want one too.
Chicks dig spiders.
Ill-gotten gains. I won't bother with these.
All right. You make your way up the stairs. Peace string still on?
Oh no.
that's what made him he's like, stupid piece. I'm just trying to be stealthy. God damn
it. You make your way up the stairs and climb up, trying to be stealthy again. Is that the vibe?
Yeah.
As stealthy as possible. Yes.
Okay. You guys, if you want to do that, Xander, you will be -2 if you're also trying to detect magic with your new at the same time.
Ooh, I'm still gonna do it.
Okay.
Because I got to do it. No. Ooh,
right.
Shoot. That's only a total of 3 for 15, brings it down to 13 for my stealth.
Are we making rolls?
No, not yet. That doesn't count. You're fine
shit.
for now. You guys climb up these wide stairs. Your feet make a scratching sound with all the sand. You make your way up a floor. You make your way up a second floor, and here you see another exposed wall that opens up into the crevasse. There's more sand that's just flowing, almost like a river. You can see there are barrels here and storage. It looks like this was being used as storage for some purpose and then pushed aside and repurposed, and there are no slaves of any kind here. You think you're alone, except Xander keeps whispering that he is sensing magic, that necromancy magic still. And you can see there's a couple widest chambers that you have opened up to on this upper floor of this tower, which is still underground, which is still underneath tons of sand, but you're in the upper floor of it. And you can see that there are a couple pools of this blue liquid that gives off, almost emanates a bluish light. You can hear make perception rolls, all of you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, natural 1 for Xander. Focusing on the magic.
29 for Brenros.
Woo.
25 for Sildren.
All right, Sir Brenros, you can hear a distant sound of a woman, and she is chanting a mantra, a different one than you've heard before. She says, "The web still spins, but the new master calls. The web still spins, but the new master calls." And you can see through some rubble and across these two different wide chambers. There's some lights that are oil lamps that are flickering, and you can see a woman who is holding on to a chalice you last saw in the halls of your queen's chamber that has now been used for much more terrible purposes. This woman is dipping the chalice into a pool and not just drinking from it, but pouring it down her open mouth. It splashes down, and this blue liquid splashes down, but you can also see permanent black of some change to her mouth. She's dressed in strange, shredded, tattered clothes. You can also see that she has finer clothes of dress and stuff just crumpled into a corner as she's doing some sort of ceremony. More impressively in size, next to her is a big, hulking, undead corpse, some sort of ogreish, looming thing that's standing over her, almost in a watching her, is she doing it right kind of vibe right over her. That's what you see. Sildren, you see none of that or hear none of that. You see much closer in view a shape moving of a spider, a large spider in some sort of guard and watching this area, and it starts to shuffle a bit. Xander, you see none of this because you failed, and I need all of you to make your stealth rolls as you approach to see if this spider has noticed you.
Oh, God. Xander rolled a 4 for a total of 16.
All right.
Well, actually, I accidentally rolled Yathane, fortunately.
Roll yours.
Because that would have been a natural 1. So
Well, Yathane was identified by the spider immediately.
32.
And 18 for Brenros.
Brenros, what did you get?
18.
18. All right.
I assume Yathane's on my shoulder at this point. So.
Sure. Being very quiet. You guys creep in, you see the spider start to move, and then it settles back down again, and it is just maybe 40 feet away amongst some broken, damaged stone rubble that's collapsed from some of the side walls or ceiling, and it's just waiting on the other side. Another 50, 60 feet, though, is this other chamber where you can just see this woman with the chalice and this zombie. There's some side chamber down to the south that has more blue water, and you're not sure where that goes.
Young life is strong in this one. Peering out and over an undead creature. Quite strong, ogreish. I don't know if you can see him from back there.
I've seen him now, yes. How do you want to proceed, Sir Brenros?
You know my mind on this. The cup must be destroyed. But I have to deal with that beast. Such a creature cannot be allowed to walk around.
Pretty sure he doesn't like fire, so I can help you with that.
What is the purpose of this room? Does it appear to be
You are not sure its original purpose at all. Right now, it is storing a pool, a kind of a oval pool of this blue liquid. You can see more of the blue liquid to the south in a rectangular chamber that splits off, maybe running parallel to what you're at. And then there's another pool of liquid that she's a similar pool on her side.
How far away is Incray and the undead creature?
10, 20, 30, about 90, 100 feet.
I look at Xander. Do we want to do this in concert?
Well,
Spider here is going to give us a bit of trouble too. Looking
Not
at
if-
this, oh, go ahead.
well, I have an idea. What about the same trick we pulled with the river drakes? We could wall them off and separate them with a wall of fire.
I was thinking a fireball, some searing light to start the combat out,
Yeah, that too. That's great.
and then the wall of fire. And I have a wall of thorns that I can bring up as well. Wait, at least I think I do. Hold on.
And how big is this room?
Yes, wall of thorns.
How big is your room? You are essentially in a 10, 20, like a 60 by 60 square. There's another 60-foot diameter circular room carved next to it, and then a duplicate square on the other side. So it's like a square, circle, square, and then there's a parallel running passage underneath to the south.
It is important that the cup be destroyed. And if you have to leave me behind to do so, you do it. Do you both understand me?
Aye.
I don't think that's
Draws
gonna
his
happen.
sword and approaches the spider to
Okay.
begin his attack.
And I think Xander and I, well, at least I'm preparing an action, which will be searing light as soon as the undead creature or Ancray notice what's happening.
Xander will, on a count of 3, 2, 3, cast fireball at the zombie and Ancray.
All right. Chat's mentioning I'm sounding crackly. Let me switch to a
Yeah,
lower
you are.
quality mic here. Hold on. Let's do. This may sound less quality, but more consistent.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Let's go for that. All right. Great. So you've got this situation.
Oh,
Yes.
good God.
This battle map is just viewable to us. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not visible to on video. Unfortunately, our Fantasy Grounds is having some challenges. Putting you guys, essentially, we've got 3 chambers. Square connected to a circle, connected to a square with some parallel running chambers with blue water. In between them is a lot of difficult terrain that is rubble. There is a spider maybe about 40 feet away under some chunks of rubble, and this is a big spider. And then to the far, maybe 80 feet is this big hulking zombie, and then 90 to 100 feet away is Incray.
To get started, if Xander can go first, he's going to cast Freedom of Movement on Sildren.
Okay.
Brand new level 4 spell, Freedom of Movement.
Sweet.
Sildren, you repel effects that would hinder or slow your movement. While under the spell effects, you will ignore effects that would give you a circumstance penalty to your speed. And when you attempt to escape an effect that has you immobilized, grabbed, or restrained, you automatically succeed unless the effect is magical and of a higher level than level 4, which is what the spell is.
Copy.
Burned.
I noticed these side passages here. Are they very tiny, or are they just indicative of a pathway?
They are not tiny. They are 15 feet wide and about 60 feet long.
Okay.
You guys can cast all you want. They are oblivious to you.
Great. So when everyone's ready, okay, I've got plenty of distance and plenty of room. When you guys say go, Xander will cast Fireball.
Yep. So let's do this in unison. Fireball and Searing Light, I believe, come out at the same time as Brenrose, it sounds like, is approaching the spider.
Yep.
Brenrose, you can make a charge, and it would take a move to through this difficult terrain. No, I'm afraid it would take a move. No, you can get close. You can creep closer. So it can take a move for you to get there, and then you have one action to attack, or you can risk blowing everything by making a stealth roll and get very close, so you can get an extra action in on your first round. What do you want to do?
I think for this type of combat, checking my stuff here.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Since I have the freedom of movement, I'm going to cast Spider Climb on Sir Brenrose. So
We just we'll just stand in a line and we just keep tapping each other's shoulders.
So Sir Brenrose, there are tiny clinging hairs that sprout out of your hands and feet. What they do is they offer purchase on nearly any surface. You gain a climbing speed equal to your speed. So you can now climb on walls, the ceiling. You can do some like weird, freaky horror movie type shit in order to get somewhere. Just stands there
in a panic. The priest warned me this would happen.
Why did I step on that spider?
Does that affect my mobility over this terrain?
It doesn't affect the mobility of the rubble, but you could literally walk to the side wall, walk up the side wall, and then walk onto the ceiling, and then walk over the terrain on the ceiling.
That is true.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Very weird.
You can drop very spider-like on the spider.
It depends. What do you want to do?
From 60 feet high? That's interesting. No, the spider has to be dealt with, so I will approach this spider. I will go alongside the wall, as you had mentioned, to get to a more clear area. Is that possible?
Sure. And the ceiling's only 10, 15 feet high.
Oh, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60 feet across.
Then I will go over where the spider is and drop it down.
All right, so you're upside down charging the spider. Okay, yep. Sildren, who are you casting Searing Light at?
I'm going to cast it at the zombie, actually.
All right.
Why am I spinning?
You're upside down.
All right.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay.
All right, Sildren, you might want to move to a position with some better line of sight. All right, go ahead and cast Searing Light. It's an attack spell, I believe?
Yep.
All right, the big zombie, go for it. Searing Light, blast out!
And I'm going to use a hero point because I rolled a 3. Try that again.
First roll of the combat.
Much better. A total of 30 to hit.
A total of 30. You blast him hard and hit. What's the damage?
Well, it's since he's undead, it's double damage. So he will take a total of 30 points of damage from that.
Nice.
Burning light hits the zombie. It just makes this weird gasp. And turns around, trying to figure out what happened. Oh my God, that cost me my voice. And you have one more action, I believe, still, Sildren.
Yes, I do.
And all my action was spent charging the spider, but
we're not there yet. We're just doing Sildren first.
Never mind.
Quickly, Sildren, what do you want to do? Sildren's done. Sildren is done. Next up is Xander. Xander, you were launching a fireball at home.
Fireball! He does have a save. Yeah.
Who are you attacking?
Oh, I am. So it's a 20-foot burst. Can I get Ancre and the zombie in that burst?
You sure can.
That's my goal.
All right. Reflex save. The zombie is not known for this. Total of 20.
Not enough.
And I'm going to do Ancre -2 as she was kind of caught by surprise. With a -2, she gets a 26.
Oh, she does take only half, which means that she will take 11 points of flame damage, and the zombie takes 22 of flame damage.
Okay. Wow, the zombie's lit up again. Fire smoldering over it. Big fireball goes off. Xander, you still have one action as you unleash chaos.
Get out. Xander will put on a shield. Oh, no. You know what? Xander's going to start moving forward. He will take a full move action to move a little bit forward.
Okay. And next is Brenros. Brenros, you do a single move on the ceiling to reach the creature. You're right over the spider. You get to attack. You get a +2, catching it by surprise. You get 2 actions.
All right, +2. First attack.
Swinging upside down. What you got?
Coming. Oh, it was there. Used +2, 24.
24. The spider anticipates you coming, but can't dodge out of the way. You do connect.
Nice.
That is 13 points of damage.
13. And you had one more action left.
One more will be a second attack. I'm not used to inverted shielding, so... 26.
26 is another hit.
Is 14 points of damage.
14. Got it.
Nice. There you go.
All right. So now I'm going to give them all a chance to act. So essentially, you got one turn of you guys beating them all in initiative. Once they're done acting, then we'll go into normal initiative. So first up is the spider. The spider sees you and immediately squirts out some sticky web in your direction, Brenros. Okay. You're against your armor class. It is a 22 to hit.
It will not make contact.
All right, it splatters against the ceiling and misses you. And this is a big, tall, lanky spider. It then tries to bite you with a 18 to hit.
No, will not gain purchase.
God darn, and then a 9 to hit. It just cannot reach you. It can't figure out what's going on. And it is confused. Its prey is normally underneath it. The zombie Hulk, where is he at? Let's check his move. He's got a decent move speed. Let's see. That's his catch. He's got a normal move speed, but he only gets 2 actions around. That's how we zombified the slow guy. And he is across difficult terrain, so he moves and can't even get towards the spider yet, and he's well away still from Sildren and Xander. He's in the middle central circular room. And then last up is Incray, who looks around, startled, fire that's just erupted around her. She tosses the chalice callously across the ground and with her hands starts lashing out. Let me double check. No, that save didn't matter. Starts lashing out with magic as little sharp blades lash out from her hands, like serrated little metal bits go flying across at all 3 of you. For Sir Brenros, 31 to hit. Xander, 21, and Sildren, 32 to hit.
Miss on Xander.
Brenros, I assume you were hit?
I was hit, yes. All
right. Brenros, 16 points of slashing and evil, and Sildren, the same thing, but 22 points of damage as you are just almost like this flechette shotgun is blasted into you, and you hold up your arm and shards slice into you. And she says, I will not fail my master. And it is a new round. Sildren, you're up.
Okay, Sildren will. So how far away am I from the zombie Hulk?
You are 55 feet.
55 feet. I will move forward to... Oh, God, I really don't want to move forward on this guy. I suppose I will. I'm going to move forward to get to 30 feet.
And you move with ease, right? Because of the freedom of movement spell, stepping around this tough rubble without any trouble.
Correct. And then I will cast... hold on. Actually, I'm going to cast a Wall of Thorns. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I will cast Disrupt Undead on him.
It's a classic.
Yep. And he needs to make a Fortitude saving throw.
Okay, you blast him with another beam. What was the quick look description of this again?
Lance target with energy. Basically, he's just lanced with positive energy.
All right, looks like we've lost Xander here briefly. Stand by. We'll keep going. Our cameras might look a little bit off. And this was a Fortitude saving throw?
Yep.
He got a total of 22.
That will not succeed, so he's going to take 2d6 plus 4 points of damage. He will take a total of 15 points of positive damage.
Wasn't it doubled against undead?
Well, it's already disrupt undead. It was a searing light.
Oh, okay, yeah,
double.
yeah.
So this is just a cantrip.
All right. You blast a chunk of meat off of him, but he is absolutely still standing. And
then one action left, which I will use to control Yathane. She is going to fly in and make her attack on him this round. She is attacking with Jaws of Steel with a natural 1.
Oh, no!
He gets a free meaty swing at Yathane.
No!
With a 30 to hit.
That will hit.
Yathane is bludgeoned for 23 points of violent zombie damage.
Okay.
Brenros.
Not happy.
Given the proximity of our big guy here, Brenros will skitter ever so slightly vertically coming down to where he's adjacent to the big guy.
To the zombie?
To the zombie.
All right, yeah, you can head over to a column and then slide down, and you are now right side up on the ground next to the zombie. The zombie, by the way, is picking up the big, meaty, long shank that got disrupted by Sildren and has ripped off that section of meat and bone from itself and is using it as a club on you the next time it gets to hack. But you get to go first. You have 2 actions left.
The attack will come from behind with a slash. Is a 35 to hit.
That is a critical hit.
Get him!
Apparently it's a dog in the battlefield.
There's a dog in the battlefield. Let's see. That is 26 points of damage.
26.
Actually, no, that's correct. 26 points of
26.
Nice!
And then I am raising my shield.
As your last action?
As my last action.
All right. Next to you, though, is the spider, and it attacks you, Brenros, but your shield will work here against anyone. 34 to hit, though.
A 34 will make contact.
Finally getting its prey right side up. It strikes you for 9 points of piercing damage.
9 points of piercing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally wrong. I said 9. I meant to say 17. Don't know why I did that. Don't know why I did that. More importantly, it hits you with spider venom. Make a fortitude saving throw.
All right. Let me take the damage first. The 17 points of damage has a little bit of trouble getting through my armor, so it is reduced by 3 to 14.
Why is that? Because of your
my
heavy
experience.
Yes.
With armor.
All right.
So that'll be. That,
Can't you use your shield too?
I can, but it's already pierced through. And I'm rolling what now?
Fortitude. Fortitude versus the poison.
A natural 20.
Wow! You are safe versus this poison, and the next roll, any poison, you can also automatically pass, which, by the way, it is attacking. Ugh. You get a free strike on it as it rolls a natural 1. It rears up to give you this big, brutal blow, and you are able to get a free stab. Go for it.
It is a 21.
21 has got to be a miss. You miss your opportunity. It bites down, but you're able to block the bite. It is done. The zombie Hulk is also right there against you, Brenros. It takes one swipe at you with its attack known as Hunk of Meat. That is 28 points of damage.
28 points of damage.
I'm sorry, 28 to hit. 28 to hit.
28 to hit will not succeed.
What? I just rolled damage. What do you mean it didn't hit?
I have a 30 armor class.
Oh my God.
Boy, level 7 treated you well.
30 armor class. All right, let's just take 10 off of that. Let's just take 10 off of that for my benefit. Holy moly. All right, its second and last action is it is not happy with the searing light and it charges at Sildren.
Oh, no.
No,
don't like that.
But it can't get close enough and it's done.
Sweet.
And then Incray is next. She moves south out the bottom passage and disappears out of view.
The chalice is still on the ground?
In the room she left.
Okay.
Done. And next up, last this round is Xander.
Xander will cast Elemental Movements, which is, Elemental Motion, which means that he is going to take 2 balls of fire in his hands, throw them right down to the sides, and lift himself up and fly across the ground.
Okay.
And I'm going to fly as fast as possible towards the chalice, around the zombie, under the spider, over the woods, past Grandma's house.
Elemental Motion. That is 2 actions to cast, so you would only get 1 action of movement.
Correct.
It lasts 1 round, so you get to move your move speed. What's your move speed?
My move speed is 25.
25. All right, you were able to fly over this rubble without too much trouble and are staying fairly clear of the zombie and spider for now.
Correct.
And you're good. It is a new round. Sildren, you got a zombie closing in on you.
Yeah. I am going to move north 35 feet. Just so I'm 30 feet away from this guy. And then I will cast Disrupt Undead again. So he needs to make a Fortitude saving throw.
Okay. Or Disrupt Undead. He's trying to resist. He's pretty hardy. 30.
30, he will succeed, so he takes no damage. But we're not done yet, because Yathane is flying in, talons, beaks, striking out. So she will attack. And that will be a 25 to hit from her.
It is a hit as she claws and bites away.
And she will do 11 points of damage to him.
Nice.
Now, when does she get her multiple attacks? Because she has like attacks 2, 2, and 3. When is she able to utilize them?
You are able to, as with the action, you can, I believe, do 2 actions with her by spending 1.
Okay.
You could have her do an attack.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, Disrupt Undead, and for whatever reason, how many actions it is, isn't showing up. Is Disrupt Undead a single or 2 actions?
Almost.
Because normally it shows me, but for whatever reason, I'm not seeing that in most of the lists.
Yeah, my actions aren't showing up either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just assume it's a normal 2 for now.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's 2. All right. Next is Sir Brenros.
Brenros, in creepy, horrific style, chitters up what he came down on.
Okay.
And moves across the ceiling and makes his attack on the creature, the zombie.
The zombie. So you're closing in on the zombie.
From overhead.
From overhead. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to take a -1 because you're very disorienting doing this, but you get to do +3 damage if you hit.
All right. So -1 with +3 damage. Making an attack. So the second action. is a 27 to hit.
Is a hit.
Nice.
12 points. No,
Plus
15.
15 points of damage.
15. Another brutal slice. You slice into his neck, and a third of the connection and tendons are severed, but his head is still there. That was 15, right?
15.
You have one more action left.
I'm bracing for a meaty pinata-style beating, so I will raise my shield.
So you're lowering your shield between. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. The spider leaps up and chases after you, also hanging upside down from the ceiling, and you whip around with your shield, Brenros, as the spider attacks you. It bites at you with a 27 to hit.
That will not make contact.
Son of a gun. A 23 to hit.
That will not make
The
contact.
spider cannot get through this impenetrable dude, and a 15 to hit as it sprays web at you that goes nowhere. Wow. The zombie Hulk charges north and takes a quick swipe at Xander flying by with its hunk of its own meat with a 33 to hit.
Ow, that hits. That's critical, actually.
Critically hits Xander.
Is that within 15 feet of me?
Yes.
Then I will engage my block and retributive strike as well.
Okay. That is 20, 30, that is, oh wow. That is 43 points of bludgeoning damage to Xander.
Jeez.
20, 30.
I block 9 of that for you. I'm doing my best.
He's trying.
That was 43.
43 minus 9 from the retributive strike that Brenros does.
34 damage, bringing Xander to half.
Unfortunately, you don't get the strike. It's too far outside to strike, Brenros.
Even with my ranged reprisal.
Yeah, he's at 15 feet, and reprisal goes up to 10 feet.
Damn it! I
Yep.
thought I was close enough.
You're
Okay.
almost.
Almost.
The zombie only gets 2 actions. He's done, but we're not quite done with the bad guys this turn, as Incray makes an appearance. She reappears behind the group where you
I
once
knew it!
were. She comes out from the sneaky side corridors, and let's see, she does a spell similar to what that purple guy did, with grayish, harmful, burning magic hitting everyone in the area that is an enemy. You guys need to make fortitude saving throws.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. 25 for Xander.
27 for Sildren.
That's a pass and a pass.
Natural 20 for.
Wow! Brennan takes no damage whatsoever. The other 2 of you take 10 points of evil damage. And the zombie Hulk is healed 21 points of damage by
Damn
her
it.
spell.
Oh, that's the worst.
Isn't that interesting? She is done and just cackles. And Xander.
All right, Xander will change his plans just a little bit. So depending on where the zombie is, and I'm looking at the map, can Xander line up, fly around behind the zombie to put a line between the zombie and the in Ancre?
Yes.
Lightning bolt!
You zip around, flying through the air, and then turn around and lightning bolt the 2 of them. They're making reflex saves, correct?
Correct.
All right, the zombie is not the quickest and gets a natural 20. Critically
What?
succeeds. He moves like they do. And Incray, wow, critically succeeded. Incray, her reflex save is a natural 20 as well. Your lightning bolt does nothing to
Are you
anyone.
kidding me? Ah!
Ow. I'm going to say the zombie just stood there and took it straight in the chest and just absorbed all of it. Wow.
Dang it! I am
Holy
nowhere close
moly.
to the chalice and they're still alive. Okay, that's my turn.
Sildren.
How many hit points do you have left, Xander?
Not many. 27?
Okay. So, Xander, you smell a nice spring breeze and some freshness crops up around you. Everything seems right and well in the world as you are healed for... it's 19 plus 32. All of your hit points.
Everything. That's I'm 100% healed. Oh my God.
That was my level. Yeah, that was my level 4.
The dial goes so far around it starts to do damage and it swings around to the other side.
So that was my level 4 heal that I just cast on you.
Thank you for that. Take that, zombie. I know how you feel.
You got an action left, Sylvan?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to use it to have Yathane move to Incray and then attack her. Because
one thing to note also, don't forget that heal has negative effect on undead.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I gotcha.
All right, Yathane flies over and can attack Incray.
17 to hit.
17. She is able to easily dodge underneath that attack.
And that would be everything.
Brenros, you are upside down, toe-to-toe with an upside-down spider.
I am moving around to the side to get to the giant zombie.
All right, you start to move. By the way, you notice that your chalice is starting to roll towards the edge, and your father, Sean Connery, is reaching for it desperately.
Let it go.
You run across the top of the ceiling, and you are right behind the zombie. You are -1 to hit, but +3 damage.
-1 and +3 damage. Here we go with the slugs. A 35
is a critical hit on the
sorry, 34 if it matters. 34?
That is still a critical hit.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Tear it up.
12 plus 12, 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage is yeah, you lop off its left arm at the shoulder with a big thud, which it then uses and picks up as a better club.
With what?
With what?
It's got another arm. One arm picks up the other arm.
Wait a minute, didn't the other arm fall off?
Yeah, the other arm.
No, it was a big shank, but it was still good. It has arms. It's got 3 arms.
Everybody calm down.
Brenros, you still had another action left.
That one is bracing with a shield, hoping to get this creature's attention.
All right. The spider, it's going to make a free attack right now against... Actually, no, it launches a web through the air at the flying gnome with a 31 to hit.
That hits!
All right, you are dropped to the ground, Xander, and immobilized within a sticky web. It then attacks Sir Brenros with a 24 to hit and a 15 to hit and cannot get through. Just can't get through at all.
Ah!
The zombie Hulk, however, looks down at this pinned gnome and thumps you with its arm, getting a +2 for a total of 28 to hit you, Xander.
It hits!
Xander's been smashed for 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow!
Remove 9 points of that.
Okay.
Retributive strike. You do get to finally strike against
I'm
him.
close enough.
That's all you care about. You don't care about normal attacks, just a retributive strike.
And honestly, this is the first time I've done this versus undead. Which I think is going to sting.
Get him!
Making an attack. Is a 34 to hit.
Is a critical hit.
Oh, yeah!
And he gets bonus damage versus undead with this.
Is that per hit?
Yes.
All right. 15 plus 28 total, adding 8 points of damage, 36 points of damage.
Go, yeah!
Holy moly. It only had 34 remaining, and you slay the zombie Hulk, just lopping off its head. It keeps swinging at Xander. You lop off that arm. It tries to stomp. You try and cut off a foot, and finally you just slice this thing into bite-sized pieces. Wow.
As he goes down from the retributive slide, your Brenros back to the unlife with you. And
Nice.
Nice job, Brenros!
That wasn't even your turn. That was the zombie's turn. Incray gets to go. She doesn't like the looks of what just happened.
an upside down paladin who just
beheaded and destroyed.
Skittering across walls. That's awesome.
The greatest thing. The greatest thing. I love it.
She goes ahead and quickly lashes out with more serrated barbs at the three of you guys. With Sildren, 32 to hit.
Yeah, I hit.
Danner, 31 to hit.
Ow, that hits!
And Roast, 32 to hit.
That will hit as well.
All right, all of you guys have been hit. For 20 to Sildren, 16 to Xander, and 20 to Brenro. Just, it's like a frag grenade just went off in these ruins. You guys are peppered.
What kind of damage is it?
This is slashing.
Ticking.
Xander.
Xander's a couple of ideas, but the one that he likes the most, because he's now tied down by a web, is to utter the incantation, watch the black aura come out of his hands, start gluing together. It starts sticking and seeping up his body and arms, and Xander grows and turns into a giant spider.
Okay.
And
Xander Spider has returned.
so as the spider, I think I've got, it doesn't say here, I've got climbing speed, I've got different things, but I'm probably still immobilized, is that right?
You are still immobilized. You can try to escape by making an athletics roll of 22 or higher.
Okay, so I've got a plus 13 with my spider form.
Oh, that's good.
Rolling athletics. So that is, hang on a second. So
You can also do acrobatics if that helps.
actually, acrobatics would be better.
Okay, roll it.
Yeah. Well, now with that roll, so I rolled a 3 with a plus 12. I'm gonna use the hero point because I want to get out. All right, so 9. There was a plus 12. I guess it's a plus 13 instead, so it's a 22.
22 is exactly what you needed, and you were able to get out of, and you just hulk yourself out of the web. And I think you're done, right?
I am. I am turning to make all 8 eyes eye contact with Incray as a giant spider now.
Cool. Sildren, you are up.
Yeah, Sildren is going to cast
Should get like an automatic intimidate.
heal on himself and heal himself 38 points of damage.
All right.
And
Nice.
then Yathane is going, and then I'm going to use my third action to control Yathane, and she will attack Incray twice. So attack 1 is going to be, where the hell is that? 23 to hit, and attack 2 will be at 27 to hit.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a better second attack. What was the first one again? 22?
23.
23. You missed the first one, but hit the second one.
And Yathane will do 13 points of damage to Incray.
Okay.
And I'm healing myself 38. So I'm now only 14 points of wounded. And that was my turn.
Okay.
Keeping her busy at least.
All right. Sir Brimrose.
How far away is Incray from me?
40 feet.
40 feet. All right. I need to focus my attention on this spider. So I will. I'm close to the spider. I will slash. I'm cutting at its legs, and it's attached to the ceiling. So
The other spider!
oh yeah, that's right. There are two now. They're coming out of the goddamn walls. All right, I'm making an attack. Am I still getting the -1 +3?
Yes.
It's a 34 to hit.
It is a critical hit.
Killing it!
That is 12. That is 11, 23 plus. Is it 3 and 3? So 23 plus 6, 29 points of damage.
29, and Sir Brenros slays the large spider.
Jeez.
Holy moly.
Just killing them!
Yeah.
I'm at my last action is actually to run to creepily run on the ceiling upside down to Encray.
Right?
My free action. I will give her an opportunity. I say to her, the priest Tasselus would have you back if you give up this wicked life. And I leave her at that with the end of my turn.
She says, I serve a new master who will awaken. And she runs from you and runs out of this room and is running towards the one of the open gallery windows and runs towards the edge of it and leaps out and drops out of view.
Oh.
Sildren and Xander look stunned.
So, should I go after her?
Yeah, we're going after her. Sildren and Yathane are going out the window too.
All right, Sildren and Yathane, you go racing towards this big, the wall is just missing on this top section. You see about 40 feet down is all this rolling thick sand that's going down, almost like a river that the slaves are pouring out and all this. She hits, seems to take a big hit, some damage, but then is just sliding down super fast down this, again, almost glass-like surface with all the sand pouring down it.
And as Sildren just leaps with abandon out the window, and as he goes, he's gonna, Sir Brenrose, destroy the chalice! And he casts himself out the window with abandon.
All right. Your freedom of movement is not freedom from gravity. Just making sure. Just making sure we understand that.
Please don't kill yourself.
I'm fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
All right.
We're good.
You throw yourself out.
Oops. I forgot to memorize that spell.
And as you fall, you hit the ground hard, but it is softened with this
Feather fall.
With this sand. Oh, you're casting a feather fall spell?
Yeah, directly before I hit, so I don't waste any time. Falling slowly.
Okay. All right, make a nature roll. Don't roll a natural one, and you can pull that off.
Why would you say that, Tom?
Yeah, why would
That's not a natural curse or anything.
No.
Okay,
Oh!
a total of 20.
It's a little closer than you'd like, but okay. And you feather fall at the last second, and you gently hit the ground, and then whoosh, you're whisked away super fast, and you're essentially sliding and tumbling and skidding and trying to get on your back to stability, and she is going down, and you are going down. And Xander...
What about Yathane?
Yathane can do whatever you want.
She's going to be attacking her as much as possible.
All right, Yathane right now is going super fast, wings tucked in and gaining speed
straight.
And gaining on her.
Yeah.
Xander and Brenrose.
If it weren't creepy enough, Xander's in spider form, but still has elemental motion. So this is a flame legs flying through the air, all spread out in all spider form. Ah!
You should
Going down.
Wow.
Right behind Yathane.
You should be screaming at the top of your lungs, I am your new master.
I'm your new master! I'm your new master! I'm your new master!
Oh my God.
And as
Wow.
this spider goes out with 8 burning legs launching out of that open gallery window, you start chasing after them. Xander, you have to duck down a bit as 2, 3, 4 purple people also throw themselves recklessly down into this crevasse to help their mistress. And they join this weird, chaotic chase. Sir Brenros is left back up in the tower trying to find a cup, wondering what the hell just happened in the last 6 seconds. And we will stop there for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Glad to have you here. We will see you next time.
Jeez.